before when I pressed the X. You got a keyboard come up, now nothing's happening. I might have to revert to the computer for this evening.
I need a fucking miracle.
Mate, the miracle is this track and the drivers crashing into each other. That's the miracle. Trust me.
It's going to be fun.
Just stay out of trouble, keep your nose clean, and you'll be alright.
8 seconds off, man.
Maybe 8 seconds off, mate, but...
Kelly's back.
Hello. My internet dropped out. That's fun, isn't it?
We gathered.
Yeah.
So when you leave a pit, should your tyres be the same as what your setup is?
Yeah, your tyres will be what the setup is, yeah.
Well, my setup's got them at set at 26, and I've come out of the pits and they're 23.
Yeah, but how long you been sat in the pit? How long you been sat in the pit lane for, Smith?
Since Kelly left.
Right. So even though you've set them at 26, the longer you just sit in the pit lane and don't drive out, they will drop because you just sat there letting them cool down. While ever you're on that setup screen, your tyres will stay on. Here's a tip for you in the race as well. Do you know before you can press ready with 30 seconds to go?
Yeah.
Stay on your setup screen.
Yeah.
Your tyres will stay warmer than what they are if you're not on your setup screen. They'll just be sat there as if you're on the grid, cooling down.
Right, next time can we do this in like a private message so we don't tell the whole world?
The whole world don't know, mate, because it's only you and DJ and Kelly in here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but DJ's quicker than me. Don't tell DJ.
DJ feel green.
I think it's best just now leaving this G-Portal thing because we're 20 minutes away from home. And just...
Did you want my tyre pressures, Smith, or you got it sorted now?
Nah, don't worry about it. They're going up slowly. I didn't realise sitting in the pits made them cold.
Yeah, will do. Yeah.
More realistic than Project Cars, you see, Smith. It affects everything more. Argent's on his way out. Oh, I never posted table stakes. I've been opening Robo do for fuck's sake.
You running around with 50 litres of fuel, Kelly, or are you just doing quality fuel?
I was running around with full fuel. I was running around with 50 litres.
Yeah.
Boom! Dennis goes fastest.
Dennis and Menace is at it again, is he?
Yep.
Love it, don't you, Dennis Menace?
I've got a feeling my button's not working that well.
Ow.
I turn to you. Whoa, who's in the green car, man? They catch me, Rapido.
That's Dennis.
Which green
Got
car?
on the Menace.
See that or Wolfenator in it? Oh no, it's Dennis.
It's
No,
Dennis.
it's not
I'm on
Wolfenator.
board with Dennis at the minute, and he's catching the McLaren. Ow, my penis!
Go on, Dennis and Menace.
I just hurt myself.
Get in front of me, I'll have a tow.
Big one, little one, middle one.
Average.
I turn to you. Oh no, don't go off, don't go off. Oh, don't go off.
Melanie
That's a great
C.
line through there, isn't it,
Turn to
Dennis?
you from the album.
Love it, don't you,
Star.
Dennis? Sorry, Dennis, I'm holding you up, and you are Rapido.
Rapido!
Go on, give us a push, Dennis, go on.
Who's a pedo? Liam.
Yep.
No,
Go on, Dennis, you got this.
no, we had to work it out, would he?
Oh, I just set a new personal best and I've gone 14th.
Same ones you've got to watch, Kelly.
You're not 8 seconds off the pace now.
The
Yeah,
ones that make it up that they don't know what they're doing.
don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, I was 13th, I've just
Do
dropped
you hear
down.
about that school? Do you hear about that school shooting the other day in America?
Yeah, by that woman. Slash
Yeah.
bloke.
Did you hear the stats that was being reported?
You're obsessed with stats.
No, seriously, no. But this is how bad it is, right? They've had more mass shootings this year than they have days in the year.
That's mental.
If you've had more shootings than there's been days in the calendar year, why aren't you fucking sorting this shit out, man? Like, what the fuck? 138 people since Saturday, this was last night, but 138 people since Saturday have been injured, e.g. hospitalised, or are dead by gun violence in America since Saturday. Just shy of 10,000 people have died this year. 449 of them, I think, was kids, it said, just this year by gun violence. 10,000 people were in March.
It's terrible, and they need to get on top of this gun crime thing. But there is a silver lining. They are Americans.
Imagine having the blessing of walking through the street with a machine gun. Huh? I could do some serious damage.
Guns don't kill people.
Guns don't kill people. Whappers
do.
Whappers do.
Whappers.
Goldie looking chain. There were some crazy Welsh boys.
I'll shank you, blood.
Yeah, you dizzy?
Matt's dizzy.
Yeah.
I'm better
Dizzy.
Yeah, practice the pit lane. Have you done pit entry yet, Dad?
Yeah. Many
Okay,
times.
good.
Piece of piss for Kelly. Kelly's a fucking pro at pit entry.
Yeah, he knows what he's fucking doing. Others,
This
though.
man don't fuck about.
Right, Matt, let's do a bet right here and now.
Yeah.
How many people get a drive-through because of the pit lane?
I'm going to go 5. A solid 5.
Really? God, I hope so.
I'm going for a solid 3.
Do you want to know who my favourite is to get one?
Dean.
Stealth. No, because Dean's not racing.
here.
Stealth.
Oh. Stealth.
Stealth.
Welshie.
Yeah, Stealth's had a few this
Arctic.
season. Argent.
Jump
Leon.
start's the other one as well, isn't it?
Leon.
Some people still struggling with the start.
Shane. Shane's
Yeah.
going to get a drive-through.
Yeah, but jump start, not
Start
speeding in the
last.
pits.
Yeah, he fluffed it last week, didn't he?
Wow, 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 wow.
Max
Verstappen.
Du-du-du-du.
Max Verstappen.
Are you up at 5 a.m. Sunday morning?
People, boy.
No way.
What do you mean? Whoa, fucking hell. Dan, you up at 5 a.m. Sunday morning?
Yeah, man.
Good lad.
Fucking liar.
Do you want to bet?
Nope.
I did it. When did I do it?
Suzuka.
Yeah.
Because me and you were texting during Suzuka, but it got rained off and you fell asleep and missed the, I think you missed the couple of
the
start
restart.
of the restart.
Yeah, I woke up and most of the race had finished, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I only nodded off for an hour as well. I was like, no, seriously. It was when, what's it called? When they only had like 3/4 of the fucking, quarter of the race, didn't
Quarter
they?
of the race, yeah. They did about 20 laps of Suzuka or something like
It's fucking stupid. Du-du-du-du.
Who's
Max
in the blue Aston Martin?
Verstappen. Du-du-du-du.
that. New guy.
Man.
New guy.
Yeah, Dennis's
Starting to
team.
piss me.
Dennis's
starting to piss me
teammate.
off already.
Not Dennis's teammate, but is Dennis's teammate at the same time.
He's 5th.
He keeps fucking hitting me. We're gonna fall out. There you go, cop. Just remember who you're fucking with.
Give him a nudge.
Punch him in the face.
If I had a hand free, I would. What's his name?
I
Hitman.
knows.
Who?
Hitman.
Hitman.
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
I watched that film for the first time the other day. It was better
Good,
than.
innit?
Yeah, it's all right actually.
And the
Thought it-
Hitman's bodyguard's wife's quite good as well.
Thought it would be one of these cheesy, corny ones, but it's not. All right.
Samuel Jackson, which is brilliant.
Right. Shall we bid a farewell and go into the... Oh my god, you'll never guess what's just come back on fucking line. Do I reset now and put practice to a minute?
Yeah, you got it, haven't you?
Put practice to 5 minutes. It only puts us 10 minutes behind. I can't believe that. Dan, go on Discord.
Yeah, fuck them.
And the password. Go on Discord.
Oh, fuck me. Now you're doing that while in the middle of a race. I'm on it. Fucking hell.
Password is Pro-Am. Hour of the day. 5 minutes. Practice. Save. Reset. Right. I can't believe that.
Right, Pro-Am, all capitals,
all capitals.
All capitals.
Tony, if you want to get back in spectators, but the password for that hasn't changed.
I can't even get into the server, I'm afraid, at the moment. Where it says search for server by name, it came up with a keyboard.
Right, 2 seconds, just go for a quick wait.
He's so fucking rude, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's talking to you, and then he just, fucks off. I'll go for a wee. Bye. I don't want to listen to Tony's boring conversation.
Please fuck yourself.
Oh, mate, I was listening. I was well interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. What were you saying?
Oh, fuck if I can remember.
Something about...
Wrong password. What the fuck? Have I refreshed the list?
Servers back up and running to control them.
That can't be right, can it? Search for SimPlay.
Orphanator's in.
SimPlay. No driver, still 28 minutes to go.
Oh, what a
Man, did you change it to Pro-Am?
Yes, Pro-Am, capitals.
Well,
no spaces.
Find the lobby. I can't even find the lobby.
The lobby's still SimPlay.
Yep.
And the password's Pro-Am. They're all coming in now.
Well, PN said it's not Pro-Am.
Yeah, I just put in Pro-Am and it wasn't. But I...
Oh, try SimPlay. Try SimPlay. Why is it not fucking changed?
It's got 29 minutes still running.
Yeah, no,
right?
no, it's no.
No. Right.
It's SimPlay, normal password, and there is 5 minutes. Right. Jumping into the party, Dan. What a fucking cock up. Kelly, see on podium.
Should have just left it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have done. Yeah, oh well.
Yeah, see you on podium.
Fucking what a crock of shit, man.
Should have just left it, mate.
Yeah, I know, I should have. Oh well. He just gets it done that bit earlier, doesn't he? Instead of fucking about till towards 11.
Max Verstappen. Oh shit, are we going live?
No, not yet.
Oh. I'm currently on Grid Autosport right now.
Nice. What, on the PS?
No, on the PC.
Oh, nice.
God. Touring cars around Brands Hatch.
Yeah, boy. Right,
I know the track very well now.
Right, I'm going to go live on 1 minute exactly. We'll go live.
Send it. Send it.
17 seconds. Two, one. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. Apologies about the slight delay in terms of getting into the lobby. A bit of a problem on the end of the G portal, but we hope you're very, very well, and we hope to find you all extremely good for tonight's race. I'm Matthew Duffin, your host, as always, joined in the commentary box by Unorthodox 16, and we have just had a disconnection from the lobby, so that is a brilliant start. We will be... good to see that you're still here. We will be back as well in just a moment. This is going fantastically well. Server issues tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put you back to the highlights back in just a moment. Server issues tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Not even finding the server now.
Not even finding it now.
Oh, there it is.
Is it up now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say it?
Yeah, you can go in.
No, can I say it?
What?
ACC shit. Went round.
Right, 4 minutes, then we'll go back live. That stuff it, 4:10. Welcome back then. Apologies about this little delay. Not sure what is happening tonight. Having a few little server issues, and we hope that everybody can hear us and that we are back live. We should have 18, 19 drivers in the lobby a little later on, so hopefully that will go the way of us and work in our favour a little later on. Right then, shorter practice than normal so that the drivers can get into qualifying a little quicker tonight due to the problems that we have been having with these servers tonight, meaning that we will try and quickly run through everything in the practice lobby that we need to at the moment. But before we get into everything else, let's just say a very good evening to our partner in crime once again, the handsome and extravagant man, Dan Davis.
Handsome.
Well,
mate,
you know, we'll change it every week, mate.
I need to keep doing really well in the endurance races we're doing, because you keep giving me really lovely compliments.
The better you do, the better they get.
Oh, okay, just don't ask to marry you, all right? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and first things first, let me just say, Max Verstappen.
Yes.
We are in the homeland of the current F1 world champion, Max Verstappen. We are in Zandvoort in the Netherlands for the next round of this season, and Matt, I'm doing fantastically well tonight. Are you doing well?
I'm doing very well. Little stressed, but it seems to be running okay now. So doing very, very well, thank you. We are in the home of Max Verstappen. We're in the home of all the orange army of the Dutch fans. And I'm really looking forward to this one, Dan. It's a tight, tricky, twisty circuit. And, it should be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely so. A track that's very, very difficult to overtake. Not obviously just in a Formula 1 car, but in anything as well. GT3s are really going to struggle to find space. And, I think it's all going to be down to qualifying and who makes the least amount of mistakes around here. Tight, twisty circuit. Loads of... Zandvoort is relatively... Well, the Netherlands is relatively flat anyway, but there's a lot of hills and undulation changes here. So... could be an interesting one for sure tonight, and I think it's all, like I said before, it's all about who stays out of trouble and who puts it on pole, really.
It is indeed. And one man we need to introduce is this man here, and he's Aston Martin in the 666, the Hitman _DUS2, part of the JWB Racing Esports team. Now, unfortunately, because he's not in the same car as his racing teammate away from this league, they are both classed as independents in the JW Esports 2 and the JW Esports, which is Dennis. But the lovely blue and green Aston Martin livery there of his car. So welcome to Hitman to the league. We hope you do fantastically well. And just a shout out as well to Dennis Newman, who is his teammate, obviously, in this car. And he messaged me today. He was asking for the logo to put onto his pictures for his Instagram and everything else. And I want to read this out. I don't know if Dan knows this yet. But I have to say one thing to the both of you. You are really great commentators. No joke. My whole team and I saw the first race and they really celebrated you. You really do it both with a passion. It's fun to listen to you. So Dennis and the whole JWB Racing Esports team, thank you very much for the kind words, because we really do appreciate it here at SimPlay Motorsport. And we really do appreciate the praise that we get. Like we say, it's not an easy job, this commentary, Lark. So thank you very much for the comments.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. I appreciate it as well. Just remember, I'm the handsome one, and Matt is the one that does it professionally. So he's very good behind the screen. No, thank you very much, lads. It's great to hear that we do put on a good show and entertainment as well. Obviously, not just the drivers doing it, but obviously ourselves as well. And yeah, good luck to the boys. Best of luck tonight. Looks like they might have pace here this evening from what we've seen in practice. So all still to play for on a track that's really could suit these cars that they're running.
It could suit their cars that they're running. Another car that it could suit, the one that seems the strongest round here from reports we've read, is the Porsche. So we'll see how hard it gets on. One that never really kind of got a mention on a report that we read was the Bentley, but yet the Bentley seems to be a bit of an animal around here. Seems to do all right as the Wolfenator has finished practice early on then. So 260 Drivers' Championship points left up for grabs. Let me just talk you through the current standings before we head into qualifying. Holty leads the way, 56 points clear of Shane in second place. Only 7 points behind Shane is Pepe then, having a fantastic start to his season. In fourth place, Argent. He is only 6 points behind Pepe, so really tight for that second place spot at the moment. 12 behind him is the man, the myth, the legend, KLF 900, having a fantastic season up in P5. P6 is the Wolfenator, who's currently 2 points behind Kelly. 9 points behind him, a man who's having a fantastic season, in my opinion, so far, PM Motorsport. Struggling today with back problems, but we hope he can get as good a result as possible. P8 at the moment, and I don't think even he expected this, but Smithy running P8. Bryn, back after his absence last week, is running P9. Daz, automatic. When he's here, he seems to get podiums. Well, he's P10 at the minute, 2 points behind Bryn. What can he do? Stealth Sloth, another man having a fantastic season so far. He's P11. Dean Wasocki not here tonight. He is currently P12. He's unwell to get well soon, Dean. DJ Phil, a man as well who is doing all right, P13. Welshie then down the pack in P14. Can't find Welshie. There is Welshie down the pack in P14. Currently, he has suffered with a slip disc, so we'll see if he's on the pad or on the wheel tonight. Leon Fernie, he is P15. Ardic then, he runs in 16th place in the championship. Dennis in 17th place. Lewis Allen in 18th. Chris Cheeto in 19th, who we've not seen him yet. Hopefully he can get back in tonight and be able to come on. And the Hitman, new to the championship, running P20 and dead last. In terms of the teams championship then, with 490 teams points up for grabs, it is AH Motorsport with a 114 point gap over Tickle Pink. Audio Sport then P3. East and West are in fourth with MC Motorsport P5. Racing Group P6, leading the independents of Pepe. The Austrian Racing Club independent team of the Green Wolfenator P7. That's a good one racing. Leon Fernie and DJ Phil P8 ahead of Dean Wasocki's Lone Ranger Racing P3 in the constructors in the independents at the moment. Solo Racer of Ardic P10 independent. Independent for JWB Racing Esports of Dennis. He is P11. The Team Oro Titan, P12. Crystal, P13. And the JWB Racing Esports 2 team of Hitman is P14. Obviously, no points scored. Dan, we've got all that out of the way. We've got our qualifying session, what looks to be a go here. And it looks like Hitman wanting to get out there early and hit the track hard. He's the first man who's going to set us a lap, or start us a lap, should I say.
both in the prime spot to try and get a lap underneath his belt. He's got Kelly right behind him as well, so I think this is the best opportunity, and I think first car out is more likely going to get the best run at this because they've got the open track, they've got clear air, they've got no one in their way unless someone decides to come out the pit last minute. But at the minute, everyone but Dennis is out on track, and it is Hitman who's going to set the lap time to start off with. But yeah, it's I think being out first is going to be key. Although you're going to be stressing your tyres, it's going to be about just getting clear air. As you can see on the mini-map, guys, it is such a small circuit here. So it's all about finding space. And again, I couldn't stress this more at Spa. It's all about getting a banker.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously at Spa was much longer circuit, so it took longer to get a time on the board. But here, it's about getting space. So it is going to be tricky. And the man who's looking good for the minute is Hitman and Kelly, because on the map, those two are on their own, while everyone else is in a massive gaggle of cars.
Car number 57, Pepe, not yet started a lap. He's just in front of Hitman. He's gone through sector 2. He'll have a good chance to get a good lap time in next time round. And who's that coming around the final corner? Car number 30 of Lewis Allen then. He should also have a good bit of space in between him as Wolfenator and Daz back in the pits. Through sector 2 comes Hitman at the moment. Stealth Sloth will be wanting a good qualifying down. He's here to start his 150th race at SimPlay Motorsport. So he'll want to start it in great fashion with a good qualifying session, set him up for race one. And like Dan says, it is such a tight, narrow, twisty circuit that track position in this qualifying is everything. As Hitman there just gets a little onto the gravel, out the run of the penultimate corner. Is he flat through the final? Yes, he is. Towards the line he comes now. What's the time going to be as he sets his banker? It is going to be a 1 minute 37.8. That is a great banker lap from him. As we go down towards KLF, he goes 2.2 off the back of that. Not a bad banker lap though for Kelly.
No, not indeed. I think it's then Shane who's next coming out the final corner. This is the man to keep an eye on. The Lamborghini, obviously a Lamborghini driver myself. I find it's quite a tricky car around here. It's difficult to get the lap time underneath you, and Shane only goes P2 with that lap time, so Hitman already setting the pace. And PN and Bryn coming towards the line. PN did not get a lap time underneath him, and they are coming thick and fast. Stealth Sloth, still no lap time from him. DJ Phil, Leon Fernie was next, and he only goes P5 as well. A lot of guys just struggling to get a lap time on the board.
Yeah, DJ Phil across the line now. He doesn't do anything as RG Bargy goes into P2. Dennis on an out lap, so that'll be Smithy behind then. Who's going to set his next lap time? Puts one on the board. No, he does not, as it was invalid. The next man on a valid lap time then is car number 57, that of Pepe, his Aston Martin. Couple of podiums Pepe's had this year. He's been consistent as ever and worked his way up the championship. Look at the three cars in front though. Wolfenator, car number 30 of Lewis, and car 35 of Daz Automatic, all about to start another lap time, as this one was invalid here then. Pepe through the penultimate corner, now into the final corner, has to have a big lift. Lewis Allen back into the pit lane, so already hurting him here. 5 minutes left of the session to go. Here comes Pepe then. What will this do for his qualifying time? He puts in P7.
P7 indeed, as they come back around again, and it's Kelly this.
It's Kelly this time who's going to do a lap. We've just lost Dan there. I'm not sure where. Hopefully he can get back with us then, but it's Kelly then to the line, does improve a little bit and manages to cross it and get a bit of an improvement. 1.7 now off the pole. Bryn's back in the pits. Louis Allen still in the pits as well, as here comes Shane towards the line. What's his lap time going to be? He does improve and goes P1. PN Motorsport will then be the next car, because the car in front of him of Ardic not yet going to set a lap time, still invalid. PN to the line, puts a time of 5th place on the board. What about Stealth Sloth? He's currently the next man before Holty will get a lap time in. Leon Fernie in the background, still invalid. Stealth Sloth on the board. Here comes Holty, sets a lap time and goes P2. And I can't quite see who's by. Is it car 69? It is. It's Dennis who's about to set the next one, car 41, and he goes P2 now.
Yeah, it's very, very close at the minute. The problem is now Dennis is in traffic. I have seen Dennis get himself into the 36s, and right now he's in traffic and he's struggling to get a clean lap underneath him. As Shane at the minute on provisional pole, there's a couple of guys coming to end their lap. Number 35 is that is Daz Automatic. He's got a lap time underneath him. He goes P6. Wolfenator though right behind him in the McLaren. He goes P4.
Yep, good qualifying for him. Car 57, that is Pepe. Invalidated his lap this time around. PN's now in the pits. Is he done for qualifying? The next man to cross the line on a valid lap time. It's Kelly once again. Hitman just invalidating a couple of laps, but the top 6 separated by 0.8 of a second. Dennis separated from Shane by 300ths. Here comes Kelly though, currently 2.5 off the pole time of Shane's 37.0. Any improvement for Kelly here? He finds a bit of time, jumps above Daz, and that puts him one step closer up this grid order.
It does indeed. Shane's coming back again around the corner. What's this going to be? No improvement. He's got Brent right behind him. It is now the 117 of Arctic as whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, it was the 117 of Arctic.
That Porsche is exciting to watch, I'll say that.
Again, car number 21 of Leon Fernie. He's only done his first lap and he's not going to set another time here. So it will be Argent then before Holty to the line. Argent goes P4. Holty stays P3. DJ Phil in the background. Not yet got a lap time on the board. He comes across the line now. Still doesn't get a lap time. No improvement from him. Does Welchie get one on the board here? He does and goes above Arctic into P14. Next car to do a lap has a 5 at the end of it. And it is Daz Automatic, who looks like he's just got past Smithy.
Yeah, looks like he has indeed. The man who's got the perfect clean air right now is Kelly and Hitman. There's barely anyone around them, and they've just clean, open air. Daz improves and goes ahead of Kelly. So right now, Kelly's going to have to try and get past him again. Pepe, final corner. Has he got a great run in that Aston Martin? If you're able to get around that corner with just the slightest lift, you're looking good on the exit. Pepe towards the line, no improvement. Hitman, though, right behind him on a valid lap time. Can he improve? As he crosses the line, he's still 7/10. He gets closer. He's within half a second now of Shane. Kelly's then next to cross the line.
Kelly next to cross the line, then here he comes before the Honda behind him. Kelly doesn't improve and stays P8. It's ebbing and flowing, Kelly might want to say, between him and Daz at the moment, as Lewis goes and puts himself P9. Car 117 of Arctic to the line next, as Leon Fernie in the background, a little wiggly, is on a valid lap time still though. Car 52 and 9, that are the two Bentley boys then of the AH Motorsport on an invalid lap time this time around. Pepe in a great seat to see if he could put a lap time in the background. Meanwhile, Arctic to the line. Can he beat that time of Welch's, who's returned to the pits? He can. Leon Fernie, does he improve? He does, but it's not enough to move him up the order. 52 seconds left of qualifying. Smithy returns to the pits, will not set a lap time. Next man to do one is car 53. That is DJ Phil Green, sorry. He puts a lap time in of P14, so a good lap there from Phil. What about car 41?
Car 41, I can't even see that. That's Dennis towards the line. He's finally got some clear air, but he's still a 300th off of Shane. So Shane's still the pole man at the minute. I think he's taken every pole so far this season in race 1, hasn't he? Or did Holty nick it at Spa?
Somewhat at Wolfenator, nicked it at Spa last week. Daz improves by a 10th there, then car number 8 of Stealth Sloth. He's coming around. What will be his 150th race start here? Wolfenator behind him, but he's not going to get another lap in. Stealth Sloth doesn't improve. Here comes Pepe, as I think Smithy's leaving the pits. Welsh left the pits. I don't think they're going to get another run in. Pepe to the line goes P10.
Tell you now, Matthew, Holty will not get another lap time in. He caught a Leon Fernie who dropped it big time, put it in the wall, and his car was in the middle of the track, and Holty was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is done. KLF towards the line. He's doing pit entry.
Yeah, Kelly done pit entry. We'll get into that in the moment in the race. Louis Allen to the line, goes P8, knocks Kelly down to 9th. Car number 7. Hitman's finished as well. He's crossed the line, P5 on his first outing. Here comes Bryn. Great to see Bryn back. Needs a couple of tenths to get above PN and Pepe here. Then towards the line comes Bryn. He's going to stay P12. Arctic, the next man, Dan.
Yeah, he's right on the limit here, pushing it all the way up to the gravel trap towards the final corner. He comes, Arctic towards the line. Twitchy as ever, that Porsche 911, but it's great to see. Towards the line, does he improve? No, he stays where he is.
He does indeed. DJ Phil will also stay where he is, as he is on an invalid lap. So that'll be P15 for him. Stealth Sloth is still going at the moment and can improve. Car 35, though, is the next man on a valid lap. This is Daz Automatic. He's got Dennis just in front of him. Dennis can't take pole either, Dan. He's invalidated his lap time, so will not be able to take pole. So it looks like Shane, barring the Wolfenator, Shane could be the man for pole position. Here comes Daz to the line. Any improvement? He does improve, but stays in that P7 spot. Stealth Sloth, oh, he's just gone over the track limits, and Dan, that then will be the grid order. Shane, after losing his race 1 pole at Spa, gets it back here in fashion.
Yes, he does. He's keeping this record up as the fastest man in qualifying. I wish my Lamborghini would do that every week, but hey-ho. I got a McLaren in my way. But hey, Shane takes pole position, but he's got Dennis this time alongside him with the 2 Bentley boys right behind him. Holty really doesn't have to fight the guys in front. He can just take his time and work his way through the order. But this is going to be an interesting night, Matt. We should have had a full grid. We're missing Dean this evening, and who else?
Felipe in the Discord, but Chris Tito, his name is in the race. Hopefully, he said he could get back in for race 2, and he messaged me earlier. Work issues is the problem, and Dean under the weather, so we missed them tonight. But 18 cars on the grid. It's an extra car from last week, Dan, and this is really going to start to make these drivers think here.
Yeah, definitely so. And this first lap, first corner is really... We had the fastest and most dangerous corner with Eau Rouge and Radion. And now we got turn 1 of Tarzan, and... it's very slow, tight. Cars are very big and wide. I keep an eye out the Bentleys. They'll probably just push their way through anything because they're massive and they're just boats. I used to call it the Boatley because it was so, I don't know, it just floated over water, basically. But yeah, this should be an interesting one. Let's see how the guys at the back do, because obviously if they're at the back, they're going to keep themselves out of trouble and work their way through the order. But
20 seconds.
Going to be interesting for sure.
Kieran's on about in the chat. Can we mention rejoining? A few cars rejoining dangerously when on a hot lap. That's for you to put in, not for us to mention on the stream, Kieran. So you're the one who will have to put that in if you want. Dan, a race winner, though?
Ooh. I'm going to go Holty.
Fair enough. I'm going to give a shout-out to Hitman. I'm going to go Hitman.
Well, that's those two's races, Kirst.
Yep. Either way, though, we're about to find out what happens. Yeah, we're about to find out what happens here.
DJ Phil's in the pits.
Missed the start then, so DJ Phil will have to start from the pit, so that's not what he wants. Shane, though, the man on pole, his 8th pole position at SimPlay Motorsport goes equal with Maze Gamer and Disco McDisco Face. He's now 1 pole position behind Holty and Argent. Well, he could equal that record either in race 2 tonight or next week at Monza. So we'll have to see how he does around there.
I'm going to go on board with Smithy right at the back of the pack and keep an eye on
you
what's
watch the back,
at the back.
I'll watch the front. We'll meet in the middle.
Yeah, definitely so.
Either way, though, for round 11 of the season, it is green and going. It is a drive-through penalty for Welchie at the start of this race, and drivers, Ardick especially, having to take to the grass down towards turn 1. It's Shane from Dennis. There's Daz looking up the inside. Dennis trying of Shane. A good manoeuvre this could be, because it'll be the inside line into this little left-hand kink, and Dennis gets that job done and is in the lead of this race from Shane. Holty and Argent. Holty's off, he's wide towards the hairpin. He's going to have to be careful on this rejoin. Does so, doesn't make contact with anybody, but that puts Hitman up the order. Danny was off.
Kelly's had a moment in the wall. He hit the wall quite hard, and also Lewis has dropped down to last place. He has dropped right down the order. Smithy taking a very cautious run into that. He even let his old rival Welshie go as they all attack turn 1, but a little bit sloppy from the guys at the back, and also DJ Phil just straight lining one of the Leon Fernie straight lining one of the corners as they all come to a grinding halt again. Ardick all over the place also.
Dennis then leads from Shane, who's under pressure from Argent at the minute. Hitman got himself ahead of Holty in the background. Wolfinator, they're all sticking together. 6 for the lead at the minute. Bit of a gap back to Daz, who's under some pressure from Bryn in this middle sector. Of Bryn just looks to tap the rear of Daz there, and round he goes. He's going to lose out to Pepe now. Ardick
there's
P10.
all sorts of chaos further back. There's Smithy's facing the wrong way with Welshie, and that's it.
Bryn got tapped round when he tapped the back of Daz there. He's had to reverse onto the grass to move out of the way. He's done so safely and has now just got to sit and wait helplessly while all these drivers come through. What's happened to Argent as well? Was 3rd on the track at the moment, has now dropped down to 8th place. So Pepe, Hitman, Daz, Wolfinator. Oh, Daz sideways coming through the penultimate corner. Manages to keep it all together. But it's Dennis who comes out of lap 1 leading this race.
Yeah, quite comfortably as well. He's already made a 2.2 gap already over Shane. So Shane just losing touch on Dennis at the minute, but making sure he stays within touching distance, because Holty has got damage to his car. So Shane really just got to focus on keeping Holty behind him.
Lewis up the inside of Ardick down the start straight and into turn 1. That was an easy move, although Ardick's just collected Lewis there. Just $8 short on the brakes. Lewis manages to carry on his way. Ardick loses out to PM Motorsport. Drive-through penalty for 69 to be done in 2 laps. Ardick back through on Pian. Smithy's 13th. DJ Phil, Leon Fernie, he must have some big damage because he's got to do it all again next time around. But look at these out front, Dan. Wolfenator and Daz both past Hitman, and now they're on the back of Holty.
Yeah, Holty just looks like he's struggling for some front end grip because the front end doesn't look happy. Obviously, there's a light scuff to the front of his car, and it doesn't look good at the minute. But Green Wolfenator and Daz Automatic still giving him some heavy pressure. And I think Wolfenator's going to look down the inside. He thinks better of it, though. He got very close to the back of Holty. Very easy to send it up the inside there, but he definitely gets a better run. This might help him towards the chicane as he's now on the back of the Bentley, but the Bentley has so much grunt, it can just pull away from the McLaren.
Yeah, it seems to be pulling away even with that bit of front-end damage. The Bentley seems to be pulling away, but it's bringing Daz with him. Hitman can't do anything about it. Neither can Archie Bargy at the minute. He's got Pepe trying to gain on him. Kelly currently in 9th, which is where he qualified. Bit of front-end damage here. Stealth Soft running at 10th place on his 50th race. Dan, top 18 started, which means the top 9 cannot qualify. And Dennis at the minute pulling away from Shane. That gap is now 3 seconds. Shane to Holty as they cross the line. That is also 3 seconds. Holty is getting a queue of cars behind him.
Yeah, they're all slowly starting to creep onto the back of him. Leon Fernie back into the pits. He's repaired his damage and I think he's on his way out. Yes, he is. So he's already a lap down on the leaders. And we're only 5 minutes into this race. Already carnage and chaos as Holty has... we're going to call it the Holty train at the minute because there's just everyone starting to pile on the back. And I say that everyone. Daz has actually lost some time here, and Hitman's starting to drag him in, and Arjun isn't a million miles away either. Pepe losing a little bit of pace onto Arjun at the minute, and Kelly just on a distance be further back from them as well. Which Stealth Sloth once again proving that he seems to be very good on ACC, a lot better on here than he seems on Project Cars.
So Lewis has just got past Ardick. Pierre has also passed him. Smithy now on the back of Ardick down the bottom end of the pack, and he's got DJ Phil not far from the back of him. So 2 pad runners here as Wilshire has completed his drive-through penalty then. He has come out though behind Bryn on the track. So we'll see what happens here. Shane's brought the gap down though to Dennis at the moment. Dan, that gap was just over 3 seconds. It's come back down again here. But Shane extended his gap to 4 seconds to Holty. Yep, just tuned to that. Sorry, talk us through what happened.
Green Wolfenator just had a look down the inside, and Holty obviously just missed his brakes, so trying to react. Just went a little bit deep into the chicane. Oh, Daz is in the background, taking a lot of curb. But the Green Wolfenator, I think, is just trying to get in Holty's head to try and force him to make a mistake.
Going back to Argent then, he's gaining on the back of the Hitman at the minute. Hitman on his debut. The pit window is open, so that's fortunate if you're in 3rd place because you can dive straight into the pits. No one is doing though at the moment. What about Pepe? He's lost out a bit of time. He doesn't think to do so. Neither does KLF. Stealth Sloth, who's dropped back a bit from Kelly, yes, goes in. So Stealth Sloth, first man in, pit entry down, comes up very quick, and if you're not ready for it, it will come and bite you on the bum as PN chooses to pit as well. Lewis will stay out. Leon Fernie goes round another lap. What about Smithy then? Him and DJ Phil have both got past Ardick. Smithy could pit, chooses not to, neither does DJ Phil. What about Ardick, who's very slow through that penultimate corner?
Yeah, he is a bit slow, but I'm currently watching Wolfenator. He's lost a lot of time here to Holty. Turn 1, I think he just went a bit deeper, overheated the rear tyres, and he's now lost time and now becoming vulnerable to Daz behind him. Meanwhile, Argent really starting to put the pressure on the newbie of Hitman. Really starting to show why he's a veteran in this category, and he's really putting the pressure on the back of the Aston Martin.
And Argent then in this category, as Dan says, he's been at SimPlay Motorsport. He's completed himself 172 races. This is race number 173, and he's showing his experience here with 3 drivers in the pits at the moment to complete their mandatory stop. Here comes Archie Bargy. Is he going to look up the inside of the chicane? He may just be enough alongside Hitman here. He's gone so deep. Hitman lets him go, and Argent there just missed his braking by a mile, but Hitman has to avoid.
Stopped.
The job done. He did, yeah, no, he did.
That's the main thing, is Stealth Sloth has finished his pits. He's coming out, but the problem is he's coming straight out into the path of Dennis here. So blue flags, obviously, in our league is GT rules. So basically the back runners stay on the racing line, and they basically have to be careful when the leaders are lapping them. Realistically, they should either shift up early or lift off the power to make the leader's life a little bit easier. But at the minute, Sloth is going to be holding Dennis up, and maybe this will go into the favour of Shane.
One man who's pitted, in fact, two men who have pitted. In fact, what happened to Argent, Dan? Because Hitman's in the pits and stopped in his box. Argent's only just come into the pit lane. So something must have happened to Argent at the end of the lap.
I will go find out. Might break my game, but I will find out the information for you.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Wolfenator still on the back of Holty, just pulling away from Daz. Pepe's now P6 whenever the cameraman wants to find him. There he is. Then it's KLF. Here he comes then, just gaining on him. Hitman in the pits. Lewis currently P9. I imagine that'll update when they come through the sector time. He's gaining on Leon Fernie, but Leon Fernie still has to pit in this race and is a lap down. Lewis now P8. DJ Phil will be P10 when he comes through the sector one time. Smithy. Bryn on the back of Smithy. This is really close for Bryn here. Go on, Dan, talk us through it.
So basically, Arjun got on the curb in the final corner all on his own. The rear dropped and around he went, and he went ploughing straight into the wall, middle of the track. Hello?
Sorry, carry on, yeah.
Basically, he's hit the wall when he was in the middle of the track, and that was it. He was in the middle of the chaos, but Dennis is... Green Wolfenator, look at him, he's right onto the back of Holty right now.
He is indeed. Bryn may need to borrow some of his youngsters' nappies and wipes there, because Smithy got on the curb coming up the hill in the middle sector, hopped over it, and how he didn't help into the side of Bryn's Lamborghini, I don't know. Either way, he is, that was a scary moment for Bryn.
I've just seen that then.
Yeah,
that's
hopped over the curb. One. Pepe into the pit lane, he's the next man to do his stop. Argent now way behind the Hitman here as Stelsloff, PN, Ardic and Argent and Hitman have done their stops. Hitman has actually got past Stelsloff somewhere, so the Hitman has gone through and is up another place. But Green Wolfenator putting that pressure, applying it firmly to Holty once again. Holty definitely has damage to the front up Bentley. It definitely looks a bit scuffed up. I wonder when he'll pit now that Argent's done his stop.
Possibly so, but Argent must have been a long stop because he's hit the front of that relatively hard. But I think he's got away with positions to try to see, obviously, on the screen.
No, Argent's behind this battle of Holty and Wolfenator here. Wolfenator didn't get the power down out of the corner. He just gave Holty a little push wide. There's Argent looking in the background behind Daz, a lap down.
He is a lap down. I'm logging back into the session, so give me a second here.
Well done.
I am back now. I'm in the lobby.
There we go.
Ow, my headset's just pulled on my head.
There is Argent in the background behind Daz. Pepe in the pits. The leaders not yet choosing to come in. The question is now, though, think of boxing, will the Wolfenator? I believe that's Welshie coming in for his stop, who's now a lap down in 14th place. He comes in, and the top 5 at the minute not going in for their stop. It's Kelly who's currently running in P6. When is he going to think of boxing here? He's got good pace, and he's going to stay out for one more.
The problem with the Wolfenator right now is clearly showing that you're struggling in the traffic. The best thing to do is come into the pits, try and get some clean air. Is the word. And try and do the undercut on Holty. Yes, he's going to have a longer pit stop as well if he hasn't got damage himself. So realistically, if I was the Wolfenator right now, I'd really struggle about coming into the pits before Holty. But if then Holty pits, you stay out. Just do the complete opposite of what the car in front of you is doing. But the top 10 still yet to pit.
Still yet to pit, and we've got Leon Fernie in 17th place who's still got to pit as well. Welshie in the pits at the moment, and what a race this is turning out to be so far. The leaders yet to pit, and action all over this. Cars literally everywhere. There's not really a clear part of the track, bar the start straight at the moment for people to have a breather and have a break. Dennis, oh, here we go. Holty little wide up the corner. He's going to have that inside line for the chicane, and he's managed to use that Bentley grunt to just pull back in front of the Wolfenator here, who's going to think of sending one on the brakes. He does. Holty tries to commit. I think Wolfenator got far enough alongside. They make contact in the gravel. They both go. And that'll put possibly one to go into the stewards, I'd imagine. That I'm going to say we're going to see these two in now.
Yeah, possibly. So Daz, though, right behind Wolfenator now. And I think just looked like just Wolfenator locked up and he couldn't get it stopped. At that point, you want to try and release the brake pressure, and it wasn't happening. And Daz and Holty comes in, but Wolfenator stays out. But what damage has Wolfenator got now on the side of that McLaren? That's the question.
Interesting choice for Wolfenator to stay out. Another man who's going to stay out and keep on his merry way is Kelly, and he's just doing what Kelly does best, sticking out there on the circuit in terms of another battle.
Bryn's got big damage to his car.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the gap to Bryn and Smithy was half a second, but not when I look at it now. Bryn, though, is free to pit because his teammate's still out there on the track. Dennis looking for back-to-back wins here.
Yeah, Dennis, though, has got a big problem. He's got a huge train of cars right in front of him from Arctic upwards. Welshie and I believe PN as well.
No, I think it's Hitman.
Sorry, Hitman. Yeah, so you've got a group of cars just in front of him. And how easy are these guys going to get out of the way? That is the question. Yeah, he either pits now or you hope and prays that he could get through this quickly.
This would be the ideal time to pit, would it not?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So he gained a nice, comfortable gap over Shane, but even now, he's just on the back of this queue of cars, and it's already losing him time. He was 4 seconds ahead of Shane. It's now 3.8, and Arctic, he's even flashing him and look to the inside. Arctic stays where he is. Yeah. He's entitled to.
He is entitled to. He's gone wide now. Returns to circuit. That would have been a sketchy moment for Dennis. Dennis, though, gets clear of Arctic, and I tell you what, I think you're right, Dan. Juck it to the right and get yourself in the pit lane. Holty's only just come out of the pits. Shane! Oh, no! A catastrophe moment for the Tickle Pig Motorsport.
What?
Bryn's in the pits, only just stopped at his box, and Shane's pitted as well.
Oh, no. No. We'll say you can't pit together as a team. But either way, Shane had to come in at some point. Just a little bit of poor communication between the top two there, the top team there, and Green Wolfenator is in as well.
Just noticed, Dan, that Daz has done Holty by 14 seconds, and Holty's got 4 seconds to Hitman. To Holty, a hefty bit of damage. Wolfenator just stopped at his box here. Daz coming into the final couple of corners then at the moment. So Daz at the minute looking like he could possibly jump the Wolfenator with the damage. Shane in over Dennis. Dennis has cleared the traffic. It's his teammate Hitman up front though. Who is next? Bryn's in, Shane's in. Leon Fernie still to pit, and then KLF, Lewis and DJ Phil as well still to pit. Another team set of teammates who's not pitted. DJ Phil and Leon Fernie, and they've only got 10 minutes left to pit.
Yeah, they have. Leon Fernie obviously pitted earlier on with his major damage, but obviously he's still yet to come into the pit. Kelly running in P2 at the minute. Obviously a lot will change since then, because he'll have to come in. Will he? I don't know if he got damage from the earlier contact that he had at the start of the race, so maybe he'll decide maybe not to repair the damage if the car's feeling all right, especially on a track like this where speed really isn't everything. It's all about being consistent. The car's feeling fine, and you might as well just leave it and go to the end if you possibly can.
Look at him running in P2. What a guy.
What a lad.
Dennis into the pits. The top four of Leon Fernie still to pit, and Dennis is in. If we tumble down the order, Stolfsloff 1.7 off the back of Argent. He's 2 seconds off the back of Peppy. You see Peppy there. Argent keeps kicking up the dirt every time I go on board in. Wolfenator 1.9 behind Daz, I've noticed there then, Dan. So for the Wolfenator, he did get jumped by Daz, but has jumped Holty in this little battle. Dennis in the pits. Kelly will lead the race. He's going to carry on his merry way. Look at this. KLF 900 leads the race here. Hasn't led since Paul Ricard, if you remember, back in race 2. Leads once again here, though. It's Lewis Allen, who is next into the pits, and he will dive in before DJ Phil, who's got Shane crawling all over the back of him now. Phil will know this. Phil will know that Shane isn't his fight. Phil's got to pit. Shane's just pitted. So what does Phil do here? Does he think I'm going to jump in now while Shane's attacking me? I'm not going to ruin his race. I'm not going to ruin my own race by defending. What would your thought process be here, Dan, as Phil looks like he is going to pit?
Well, in this case, it would just get out of the way as quickly as possible, and he has done already. So Shane is on his merry way, so Shane won't lose any time, and Phil has done his pit stop now, or will do his pit stop, I hope. But it is just now Kelly and Leon Fernie still yet to pit. They've still got 9 minutes left of this session, and Kelly obviously gets the advantage of having blue flags his way. Obviously, they're not going to be a massive advantage, but obviously he will be coming up with cars that are not really going to fight him, opposed to if he pitted, he will have to fight other cars. So right now, he's in relatively clean air on his own. The next closest is Daz. He's in the middle sector at the minute. Obviously, he will definitely get jumped by him. It is Shane, who's also in the middle sector. They're not actually that too far away from each other. Obviously, Shane might be in trouble due to pitting the same time as his teammate.
Lewis just gets dropped and completes his pit stop. Argent trying to put a lap on Ardic. Pepe was catching the back of Argent, but managed to... Oh, who's that? Car 30 Lewis. Stop-go penalty for speeding in the pits. Well, that has ruined his race then. DJ Phil completes his stops with it's just KLF and Leon Fernie. Kelly then straight into the box. And Leon Fernie damaged that front end, it still looks like as well. Will he come back in? Looks more scratches than damage on that car. Either way, Leon Fernie still got to pit, but a stop-go penalty for Lewis, Dan. That's going to ruin his first race.
Oh, Smithy came back on track, and Leon Fernie came and gave a big boot up the rear. So not probably what Smithy would have wanted at this stage, but there's Dennis in the background on my screen. He's going to go and carry on taking the lead. Shane's not a million miles away from him, probably the same gap to Dennis. And Kelly at the minute, where's he going to be dropped into? My interest is where is Daz? He's in the final corner. See where Kelly gets dropped. He's going to lose out to Daz and Wolfinator, but he might jump Holty at this rate.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. We're just watching the battle of Stealth Sloth and PN Motorsport at the moment. As that gap's within 0.8 of a second. Towards the middle sector they come to complete now. These two will jump Lewis. Lewis obviously has to do his 30-second stop-go penalty. Kelly's now away. Holty's just got past and Hitman gets past. And I think he's going to be P7 in this one, you know, Dan, because Argent is only now coming into the final corner.
He is indeed, which will... well, you don't know if it's good or bad now these days, because you're in the top half, you scored decent points, obviously. But if you're in the bottom, you're in the top half, you can't qualify. And on a track like this, qualification is probably the key thing. That's why the top two are where they are and where the gap is to the leaders. So... I'm saying that actually Daz is making some time on the leaders, to be honest. They're not as rapid as I thought they were going to be.
Well, let's keep our eyes on Daz. Back on the podium again is Daz here. This will be 3 podiums in a row. Lewis in the pits for his stop-go penalty. DJ Phil gets himself past. Leon Fernie has got 6 minutes to pit. Smithy should get himself past, as should Bryn. What about Ardic? Possibly not from where Ardic is. Let's just... Oh, Smithy! Off at the final corner. I think he's clipped the wall. He's back on now. Bryn goes sailing through. No, that wasn't Bryn. That must have been Shane lapping him. Oh, Smithy's lost it again. Hit hard into the wall. Leon Fernie's in the pits. I imagine that bouncing McLaren that looks like it's got a broken suspension is going to come in. Here we go. In he comes. So Bryn will get him. Ardic should get Smithy. Lewis now away. Where's Bryn? Not yet close enough. So Lewis will stay ahead of Leon Fernie and Smithy now.
Such a shame for Smithy there. But the leaders at the minute, 3.4 is the gap, so it's relatively close still between these two. One mistake by Dennis, and Shane is there, ready to pounce. To be honest, not many miles away is Daz. He's only 12 seconds behind the leaders.
Yeah, having a good little battle at the minute. It's very quiet in the chat tonight. Just had a look there. PN, 1.4 off the back of Stealth Sloth, so trying to make some inroads. Welshie, he's within 5 seconds of Ardic, so he as well is trying to gain a few places here. Has Smithy put that back into the pits, I wonder, because his car's parked at a diagonal position, so I'll have to wait it. No, it's just gone back to normal now, so I wonder if he's done what Gary did last week. He can get back in this race. Bryn, though, is now ahead of them two. Here comes Ardic to get ahead of them two, and there in the background, look, Welshie being lapped by PN Motorsport, but is gaining on Ardic. What are we wowing?
I just had a look at the lap times. Dennis out in front, a 38.
Yeah,
it's his time. 21 for speeding in the pit lane. That is Leon Fernie. He's got to drive through and stop and go. So Shane and Dennis both doing 38s. Daz on his own, with a little bit of pressure of Wolfinator behind him, he's in the 37s, while these two are in the 38s. Daz is actually a lot quicker than the two in front. I'll have another look at this time. So Dennis has just gone fastest of all with a 37.0. Shane is only in the 39.1s. Shane is losing time, hand over fist.
Struggling. Yes. Really is. There's Wolfinator here, 0.8 of a second back to the Daz Automatic of his East and West Motorsport Ferrari. Smithy still in the pit centre. He's having a long stop. Leon Fernie stop-go penalty. He's lost out to Welshie. That'll be his race done. You'd imagine with a stop-go there. Stealth and PN's kind of been put to bed a little bit. Pepe and Argent's been put to bed. And Argent, 7 seconds to his old Conrad KLF. What are them two? Moment. Oh, how bad's the damage?
It looks pretty decent on the front. I don't know if anyone else was involved. I think the 57 was around. Pepe was just go past it, but that's about it. So I think Britain's had a moment on his own.
Looks like he's got away with that then. What's the lap times between Argent and Kelly, Dan? Because 7 seconds the gap. And Kelly here at the moment looking to hang on to this P7, but is Argent really reeling him in? Or what's the kind of lap times we're looking at the moment? Benedek, I hope I pronounced that right. Don't worry, guys, he's still here. Great to see Benedek in the chat, and nice to see you here, buddy.
38.5 from Argent last lap. 1 minute 40 from Kelly.
Yeah, the gap's just come down in sector 1, 3/10. So Argent's coming here, but 7 minutes 43. We know how much a tough defender Kelly is. Wolfenator, though, within 2/10 of Daz Automatic now as they come towards the final part of the lap. Leon Fernie's back in the pits as well. YouTube Wiz, 33 subscriptions.web. Not sure what that means, but thank you, Wiz. Either way, Grandad, Fury's Grandad, me too. Great to see Fury's Grandad here, as always, week in, week out. And Wolfenator, Dan, right on the back of Daz Automatic now.
He is right on the back of him, for sure. Trying to... as Wolfenator's gone wide into turn 1, he's actually lost out there. And he's going to have to do all that hard work all over again. The man who's not going to be too happy in this race is going to be Holty. Yeah. P5, he was P3. He's lost out to Daz and Green Wolfenator. And like I said, Matt, whatever car seems to be quite dominant on a track, it tends to have a little bit of problems here and there. He's
going to lose out points to Shane, in the championship. Smithy and Leon Fernie, stop goes done, and Smithy back out the pits. That's really Smithy's night ruined in this first race. PN, we say about Daz being hunted down by the Wolfenator. Well, the other East-West Ferrari is being hunting down, the MC Motorsport Lamborghini of Stelstoff, who had a wiggle through the penultimate corner. And here comes PN, better speed onto the start straight. It's Lamborghini versus Ferrari. Down the start straight they come. PN on Stealth. Stealth's got his hazards on here. PN's not going to be focusing too much on that. He's to the outside line. Stealth looks like the Lamborghini's got the better straight line speed. And into turn 1 they go. Stealth manages to hang on so far.
He is just hanging in there, but this is the nature of this track, the nature of this format. It's just nowhere for him to overtake, and that's the same problem Wolfenator's got at the minute. He's right on the back of Daz. He's lapping faster than Daz. He just can't find a way through. Yeah. Argent's going to find out that problem very, very shortly as he catches onto the back of his old faithful.
Yeah, he is indeed. Hell yeah, you pronounced it really well, Matt. Hungarian is difficult. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Pronunciation's not the best thing, then, is it? We found out this season.
No comment.
Either way, Wolfenator half a second to Daz.
Let's have a look at the Porsche 911 of Ardic. Or do you mean, what did you say? I think you said something else.
I think I called it. Yeah, I did say something else. I also got a few names wrong last season. Speaking of Ardic, all over the grass, sideways. Somehow he manages to keep this Porsche facing forward. Wolfenator within half a second of Daz. PN within half a second of Stealth, and Argent can see Kelly now, who's just put a lap on Leon Fernie. Argent's going to try and do the same thing at turn 1. Is he a little too far back to do so on Leon? Leon stays well out the way of Argent and makes sure he doesn't get involved in that battle there then.
Well, that was nice of Leon Fernie. He could have made that life a lot more difficult.
Oh, Wolfenator's had a problem. Sorry, he was 2/10. It's now a lot bigger, and he's got some scuffed up damage to the front end of that car.
I'm on it.
Holty is now within a couple of seconds of the Green Wolfenator, so can Holty salvage some points here? Lewis Allen has just let the Wolfenator go, but really, it looks a lot quicker than him at the moment. Holty 2.3 seconds now. Argent within a second of KLF. That is getting close. The old rivalry from Bathurst of Season 5 Project Cars, Season 4 Project Cars. Argent to the outside of Kelly at this part of the circuit. He's going to find it hard round there. He's on the marbles, and Kelly manages to hold off that one. Dan?
Wolfenator, basically, she had a moment at the top of the, so you got the right-left chicane, like going up and down the hill. He came up the top of the crest, and Welshie's had a moment himself. He's gone into the wall on the right-hand side, and Wolfenator, all on his own, then did the exact same thing. The rear became light, and around he went.
Right, there we go then. Holty gaining on the Wolfenator. Argent thought of sending one up the inside of Kelly. Onto the back straight they come. Welshie stays right out the way. He looks like he possibly has some damage. Kelly versus Argent. Who's in the wall?
Wolfenator nearly went in the wall. He's got the Honda breathing down his neck right now, and he's... really holding him up right now, and Holty goes through, and it's now Holty's chance to attack Wolfinator.
So Holty attacking Wolfinator, Argent attacking Kelly. We've seen this battle many a time. Welsh looks like he's going to come into the pits, so that could then put Smithy ahead of him in this race. And Argent, Dan, is finding out why the Wolfinator couldn't get past Daz Automatic. It is so tight around here for Argent.
It is indeed. It's very, very tight indeed. And right now, Argent just can't seem to find a way through. Kelly, probably the most difficult person to get past, and he is just not allowing anyone through right now.
He's not at all. So it's half a second Holty to Wolfinator. It's 3/10, Argent to KLF.
Oh,
it's
Holty's
half a second. Oh, Holty's got past him. There we go then. It's half a second PN to Daz, to Stealth Sloth. But Kelly doing a fantastic job, and Argent looking each way to Sunday and just cannot get past the McLaren. Gets a good run, but Kelly, the wise man, is putting Argent to the outside line. Argent may end up on the marbles on the outside here. He's managed to keep it around the outside. That is a great move from Kieran Argent round the outside. Job done, Bentley Grunt. Kelly down to 8th. Argent up to P7. I'm sure, though, Kelly, on paper, will look at 8th place and think that is a job well done tonight.
Yeah, be happy with that. Argent still, though, not very... he hasn't got a lot of grip on that Bentley at the minute. He seems to be just struggling a little bit with a bit of understeer. And I say that, he's gone wide and Kelly's gone back through.
Oh, well, there we go then. We just changed to PN. And Kelly back up, and he's up by quite some margin, Dan, because Argent's dropped a bit wet back here.
Yeah, he's ran wide, went in the gravel, and obviously the gravel did its job and slowed the car right down, and down the order he went.
Down the order he went indeed. Welsh is back.
No.
Oh, Kelly's gone deep now at turn 1, and that. Oh, they make contact, little bit of contact as Kelly rejoined from the gravel, and a flash of the lights from KLF there. Argent, though, back now into P7.
A bit of door banging there between these two.
Never seen that before, have we?
It's a good thing Mount Panorama isn't on this season, is it?
Yeah. Stealth Sloth, I wonder if he knows he's still got his hazards on. That's the thing I've noticed this year. We've no longer got the Dean Wasocki windscreen wipers. PN was indicating left a lot last week, and Stealth Sloth's now got his hazards on, so that seems to be the thing. Notification from race control, leader on the final lap, as PN now has 2 laps, provided Dennis doesn't lap him, to get this job done on Stealth Sloth. 3/10 the gap. So let's just run you through the order. It is currently Dennis who leads the way from Shane. Big gap between the pair of them two. Daz P3. It looks like he will fend off Holty. Wolfinator still within a second of Holty here. So it looks like he's managed to sort of get used to this damage and keep on the pace. Hitman's 11 seconds behind. Good debut for the Hitman in 7th. In 6th. Argent 7th. Kelly in 8th. Argent, little wiggle there, got to be careful. Peppy 9th, Stealth Sloth 10th, but as PN breathing down his neck. Louis Allen in P12 with DJ Phil 13th. He's also indicating that he's turning. Bryn running 14th place with Ardic, in 15th as the cameraman picks him up now. Leon Fernie 16th, Smithy 17th, ahead of Welsh after the pit stop. And Dan, what can you say really about Dennis's race? He's halfway through the lap, but he's had a cracking race at the moment.
He has indeed, and he's just up and gone. Left them all to it, and Shane hasn't been a million miles away. He's been there. He's been able to keep in touch with Dennis, but he's just had this race under control. As I think Shane's in the wall, I think. Oh, no, sorry, that's Bryn.
Yeah,
Bryn.
That's Bryn. Dennis.
Oh, Bryn. Oh, he nearly hit his own teammate.
Oh, that would have been handbags there. Dennis already flashing the lights. He's coming through the final corner. Gives them another cheeky flash. It's going to be back-to-back wins for the Audi. Back-to-back wins for Dennis Newman then on his third race start at SimPlay Motorsport. It's a win for Dennis in this one. Shane, not a million miles away, but what Shane will take from that is a second place and points over Holty. His teammate Bryn down the order in 14th place. He will finish there. It will be Daz Automatic, not the next man to cross the line, because Ardic's just in front. He is going to finish himself a solid P15. Daz Automatic, though, another fantastic third place. That's 3 third places in a row. Holty, work to do for him. 4th place for him. Green Wolfinator in 5th. Lewis has finished a little down the order in P12.
Hitman crosses the line in P6, and Argent has he lost out to Kelly again? No. So Argent into the final corner. Just ahead of him is the number 52.
DJ Phil.
53 of DJ Phil, he crosses the line with the 52 of Archer just behind him. And KLF at the end, a bit of formation driving by the two SimPlay, the two Audio Sport boys.
Look at this. This is what you want to see. Great from these two then. So it's a 17th for Smithy and 8th for KLF. It is a 16th for Leon Fernie in this one. Pepe has Welshie just ahead of him. Welshie down in last place. But Pepe, good result for him. That's another 9th place. And PN has managed to get past Stovsloff in this one, Dan. And these are the last two cars. We await to cross the line. What a result for Stovsloff in this one. 11th place. Just couldn't hang on to that 10th at the end. But PN, another top 10. He will have to qualify for Q2. Unfortunately for him, the top 9 cannot qualify. PN crosses the line 10th. And here comes Stovsloff in P11 to wrap things up for this first race. What an opening race it has been. And let me tell you, that was fascinating. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time with the second qualifying. Don't go anywhere. That was fascinating. We'll be back in a couple of moments' time with the second qualifying. Don't go anywhere. More cars on track, more fucking this. Guys, a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I think that guy, the Wiz guy, by the way, he's just spamming, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Dark web. Agree. In the dark web.
Green light. Give it all you can.
You know?
Yeah.
Talking about the dark web, mate, I would be blocking him.
Block the bugger.
Are we going to try and get Dennis in?
We could try, speak to him, yeah. Reports. Unwanted commercial content, spam. Hide user on my channel. Right, I shall pop to the toilet. In fact, what I'll do before that, timetable, race. Ready for that. Right, back in a sec.
Yep, no worries. You can't keep this man off the podium.
Alright, Dan.
Nicely done, mate. P3
Cheers.
again.
Oh, well chuffed with that.
Well done, man. Just kept your nose clean, out of trouble.
Do you know what I did? What I got the jump was I had 10 seconds of damage after Bryn hit me. So I thought, do I gamble and get it fixed, or do I just don't get it fixed and push on? So I didn't get it fixed, and that got me the extra seconds to get away.
Ideal. And then they had their own troubles later on in the race.
Yeah.
I just the whole of this race was just stay out of trouble and keep your nose clean, basically, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Oof. I tell you, a bag of nerves after that one.
What, those two hunting you down?
Yeah, and you could see them having a ding dong in front, and then Wolfie done a lunge on the outside on turn 1.
Yeah.
Clipped me and went off. And then I'm not sure if it was DJ Phil or Welshie or someone. They was all over the track in one of the bends. I just managed to I backed off and kept it to the inside. And then I think Wolfie hit him.
Dennis says he can't do the interview because he's in the bedroom, his wife's asleep, and if she wakes up, there'll be war.
Fair play. Fair enough. Yes. Right. Right. Fair enough. Who's put this in? Oh, pitting at the same time. You what? Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a drink. Because this is the fucking long one.
Pro-Am. So, Dennis, Shane.
Dad's getting used to this fucking podium shit.
He's loving it, isn't he?
It's how you win a championship, though, isn't it? Just keep scoring points.
Keep it on the black stuff.
Exactly. Surely he's got the 3 podiums already. Has got to pump you up quite high now.
Points-wise, yeah. Podiums. I think so.
Yeah, you're only a couple of points behind your teammate.
I missed a couple of races as well.
Hey, you're only a couple of points behind the Tickle Pink Motorsport pairing as well.
Ooh, nice.
Daz up to 8th. Go on, Daz.
I ain't saying shit because I might get him in trouble now.
I got to survive the next race first.
Our first 2 drivers that can't fucking win the champion. I love it when them numbers go red. Oh yeah, you was meant to, weren't you? Why didn't you? Yeah, I would have had a bit to go. You can't keep Daz off the podium, yeah? I don't know.
You do get tangled up in a lot of traffic when the pit stop starts.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that for tomorrow night, to be honest with you.
And the track is quite narrow as well. There's not a lot of, especially when people are like cutting bends and drifting wide.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking forward to that tomorrow. That's gonna be it's gonna be a bit of a bastard, that I reckon. To get that. Who's that?
Nice to see Shane keep his nose clean as well. He's so fast.
Yeah, he's had a few moments where he's just not been at the races really because of his incidents and. Where's Shane in terms of podiums like that? So he's on 19 with Smokey BT. Where are you? Down there. Are you rising up to 4 podiums now, look? Climbing the stats pages.
Just fluking it, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, just rock it up. See what fucking happens. Yeah, podium, whatever. It is what it is. Fucking love that.
I think this one's most rewarding because I've managed to beat a Bentley.
Yeah. Both of them at that as well. So that conditional formatting. That needs to go now to E17. And that needs to go to E16. Shane wants to really have a good one in this one now. Right. Shane not fancying it? Nah, fuck him. Just chat with Daz. What is he on about? Oh, and after this race, how many cannot win the championship after this? Just one more, but 3 teams. Oh, love it. Right, 30 seconds after the session, and then we'll go back live.
Okay.
Welcome back to SimPlay Motorsport here then for the second race, just as we get gearing up for race 2 qualification. And we've got Daz in for a quick chat. Dennis has told us today that he better not come in for an interview. Doesn't want to wake the wife up and be in trouble. So wise choice there, Dennis. Hopefully we'll speak with Dennis a little later on in the season. In terms of the championship, though, it looks like this. Holty has his lead cut short to 51 points to Shane now, with Pepe still in P3, 4 points clear of Argent. Wolfenator moves himself up into P5 ahead of KLF 900 by 2 points. PN is P7, the man who you can't keep off the podium, Daz Automatic. He's currently sat there in that P8 position ahead of Bryn P9. Smithy down to 10th. Stealth Sloth 11th place with DJ Phil 12th. Dean down to 13th. Welshie's tied with him in 14th place. Dennis Newman excuse me, up to 15th place now. Fernie 16th, Ardic 17th, Lewis Allen in 18th, with Hitman 19th and Chris Cheeto we've not yet seen out there. Them two though, Hitman and Chris Cheeto, cannot win the championship at this moment in time. AH Motorsport lead the constructors by 116 points in this one. East West Motorsport gaining on the Tickle Pink boys. They're on 283. They're only some 47 or 37 points behind, should I say. 1 point behind them is Audio Sport, with the MC Motorsport boys on 196. Racing Group on 185. The Austrian Racing Club on 170. The top two in the independents. That's a good one racing though, catching them. That's P8 there, 149 points. Lone Ranger Racing staying 9th on 91. JWB Racing Esports on 58. Solo Racer 49. Team Oro Titan on 32. JW Racing Esports 2 on 15. And Crystal on none. Like I say, we've got Daz in for a quick chat. And Daz, that's 3 third places in a row. We can't seem to keep you off this podium.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a little bit higher up, but I'll take my points. Well,
just talk us through that one, buddy, because it looked stressful.
Yeah, it was. I could see Holty and Wolfie were pretty close together and pushing each other wide at times. So I'd had a hit at the first lap and I had some damage to the back of the car. I followed Holty into the pits and decided not to repair my damage and see if I could hold him off. Which paid off because I managed to get the jump on him then and Wolfie. Yeah,
it seemed to do the job for you. You had good pace though. Like you say, you could see their fight happening. You seemed to manage the gap to Holty quite well after the pit stops as well.
Yeah, pretty competitive this week. Maybe the tighter circuit suits the Ferrari more than the Bentley.
Going into race 2, obviously you're going to start that bit further down the order. On this tight, narrow circuit, what's the thought process going into that second race? Obviously, it's a bit different week in, week out on the wider circuits, but here, surely the narrowness of it has got to play into it.
Definitely is. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the gravel, but hopefully try and stay on the black stuff and try and winkle my way through the field.
Yeah, indeed.
Just like last week.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. It'd be great to speak to you at the end of the night on the podium as well.
Oh, fingers crossed. Thanks.
Well done, buddy. Get back to it.
Cheers. Thanks again.
Evening to Peaceful Stepdad, Micro J's, Peter and Mother Davis in the chat. Good evening. Great to see you all here. We're all starting to wake up after we are running a little late this evening. But Dan, I love it when these numbers start to turn red, meaning that drivers cannot win the championship. It really seems to bring a smile to my face, knowing that we're getting to the business end of the season.
I was going to say, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? These lads have worked so hard this season to try and get there, and they get knocked out quite quick.
Well, I mean, these are the newcomers, aren't they? But I mean, you know, we get into that business end, we get into where it's starting to, points matter.
You're going to be happy when you see your name go red.
It's irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant to me, pal. I'm not here for the last for Brands Hatch and Mizano, so it's irrelevant when my number goes red. But you know what I mean.
Which ones are you missing again? Brands Hatch and
Mizano. And based off of last Saturday, the 4 hours, I ain't missing much. Bentley was awful. Bentley was awful.
I might have you beat at Brands. Even though I'm in a completely different car.
I think you've got me beat at
Actually,
Mizzano as well.
I'm worried. I'm worried actually about Brands. I've driven that car and I know what it's like around there.
Either way, we've got the reverse grid going. Top 4 currently done on lap time. PN's on 1, as is Smithy towards the bottom end of the circuit with Lewis. Time started to come in.
Yeah, they're all just out there trying to get their lap times in. Who's going to be the first on the Dow's Automatic? It's going to be the first man of the non-qualifiers. So he's going to be in the firing line as Lewis goes fastest of them all at the minute. Who's the one to keep an eye out, really? Let's be honest, is Bryn and PN maybe is ones to keep an eye on, because obviously maybe Bryn will have Shane set up and he might be able to put that thing back on pole for a Lamborghini pole position 1, race 1 and race 2.
Possibly so,
at the minute, Dennis has got the hardest job, I think, but obviously an hour-long race, it could go his way, it could be lucky, or it could end up in complete and utter tears. You just don't know, but either way, I think that PN goes 3/10 off the pole, so Ferrari does look relatively good round here.
Don't discount Leon Fernie either, he could do something. We saw him steal pole from Bryn in qualifying 2 at Silverstone earlier in the year. Audic's coming round to complete his next lap time.
Again, not saying anything about Leon's driving. I just don't think it's a McLaren circuit. Only really one man has shined in it tonight, and that's been the Wolfinator.
Oh, Wolfinator as well. I think Kelly's had a good night though. Look at these Lamborghinis, all coming into turn 1. Well, she lets Bryn and Stealth go, and I think Stealth lets Bryn go, and lap times are being set. DJ Phil, the last man, set a lap time. It's half a second separating the top 4. Here comes Phil. Currently goes P16. Look at Kelly's start.
Such a healthy grid.
It is. Look at Kelly's start position, by the way. I think he'll favour that start position.
But he's surrounded by Shane, Holty, and Dennis, Wolfinator, Arjun. We know some of these drivers are a little bit eager and they've been kind of pre-warned now. Everyone's been pre-warned about first lap, and just take it easy, take your time. It's an hour-long race. You can't win the race in just lap 1. Anything can happen. A strategy is a massive thing in race 2 as well. So, but also we've been listening to some of the drivers out there as well, and just taking notes of some of the things they want to see in changes possibly for next season. Obviously, Matt, this has been our first proper go at a full season of ACC. We kind of, I wouldn't say we've perfected the this season's program, but I think for next season we would definitely be improving it and making it a little bit more fair, especially for this reverse grid, because let's be honest, an hour-long race, all the fast guys can eventually make their way back through the order. But either way, it is Lewis at the minute who's currently still on pole, and Matt will be very happy about that.
He's gone quicker as well, Dan. I was just about to say he's done a 38.0. He's 1.8 clear of Leon Fernie as everybody start to feed their way through. Here's Audic from Bryn. Audic, no improvement. Bryn now goes second. Sloth goes P5. Welshie, I don't think it's on a great one. Leon Fernie's on an invalid one. The next car will be DJ Phil. Honda on pole though at the minute. Yeah, boy.
God, I'm not going to hear the end of this. A lawnmower is on pole position.
Also, if the lawnmower gets pole position, it's DJ Phil jumps Stealth Sloth then in the standings at the moment. If the lawnmower gets pole position, it will be 1 behind the almighty BMW of Andy. Back from Project Cars 2, 1. So go on the Honda as he improves another half a second. Does the lawnmower? Oi, oi, Savaloy. Let's go.
Actually, funny enough, you mentioned Andy's BMW. I actually had a memory pop up on my Instagram today.
I know what you're talking about, but tell the viewers.
It was promoting the TikTok of SimPlay Motorsport of the championship rivalry between myself and Andy, where it went to Spa by 1 point for the finale.
Yeah, that was on the... So the date of that was the 31st, so that will be a year on Friday that you won your last GT3 championship, as here comes PN through the final corner. I also had another memory for the Scottish showdown between Smoky Devil and Welshie for promotion. PN goes up to P3.
Yeah, find a little bit more time there. Can Leon Fernie find that difference? Bryn, I think, is done for qualifying. He's come to a stop. Yeah. But Leon Fernie, where is he? He's coming into the final sector now, into the chicane. Funny how times go so quickly. I only felt like the other day I was in that McLaren and was stressing, and I remember vaguely the day before, I was saying to Matt constantly, "What's the weather doing? What's the weather? What's the weather?" And
Yeah,
he's like,
because snow was around, wasn't it? You know, snow was around, and you was like, "Oh, it's raining, then it's snowing, then it's sunny, now it's snowing." Yeah, you was a bit stressed. Let's put it that way.
I think it's probably the last GT3 championship I'll win, for sure.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It was your last one, though. So since then, you had your season sabbatical. You come back in the Audi. We're now doing ACC. So it's been a long time.
I did have two, I think.
You did have two, yeah. You did have two, yeah.
F2 was the last championship I won, I think.
It is. It is, yeah.
I can't even remember the last race I won. Daytona in the wet.
Daytona in the wet. Final race of the season of Project Cars. You won the last race of Project Cars in the Pro in the wet. Beat the Mercedes. So,
do you know
God, that's a couple of months ago, though. That was the end of last year. Jeez.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we need to get some wet weather on this game. You know I love a bit of wet weather, and I reckon I could take a bit like the Boatley. I could take to the track with a bit of water as well. Would be great to see, wouldn't it? These cars sliding around.
He didn't get to the line in time. He just missed out across the line and validated it at the end. Matt, you live with him when he's like that. No, I'm fine, thank you, Mother Davis. You can keep hold of Dan while he's stressing out. Obviously, you did well in that season, but if you remember back, if you didn't watch it, go and watch it. Season 5, especially Pro-Am. If you like the Cora or the Honda, it was a fantastic year for that one. But go and check out Dan's season. Trailed
never made its debut in Pro,
season.
though.
Didn't make its debut in Pro. You bailed. Dan fantastically managed to bring, the season back. What a championship that was. Qualifying's come to an end, though. Dan Smithy's done. He's P9. And lap time starting to come in. Can Phil improve? The only other man, in fact, qualifying, is done. So that will be your grid order. So it will be the Honda. On pole positione.
Oh, God.
Bryn P2, that will lock out your front row. PM Motorsport then will be P3 on the second row, joined by Leon Fernie, fourth place. DJ Phil, P5 on row 3 with Stealth Sloth in P6. Row 4 will be Ardic in P7, Welshie P8. Then it will be row 5, Smithy and Daz Automatic, first of the non-qualifiers. Hitman will be on row 6 with Peppy. Argent row 7 with the Green Wolfinator. Row 8, Shane and Holty. And row 9, KLF and Dennis. Tip for your race 2 winner.
I don't want to do this, man, because every time I say someone,
that's fine. I tell you what. We'll leave it to the poll then. We'll leave it to the poll. We'll never predict again. I'm happy with this. I like this.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to. We're just going to have to suck it up, and whoever gets picked, they just got to prove how good they actually are and work their way through the order.
Who did you pick race 1?
Holty.
Yeah, I picked Hitman.
Yeah, but he didn't really get himself into massive trouble,
No, he didn't. He didn't. No, you're right.
He just wasn't able to fight. Do you know what? He's on a roll. He's on the lower end of the podium, but he's done it 3 in a row. Come on, Daz. This is your race. You are going on top of the table this time.
I'm going to say Dennis from the back of the grid. Yeah, I'm going to say Dennis from the back of the grid. 20 seconds to ready up.
Sorry, Daz.
18 cars lined up here tonight. It's going to be Lewis Allen on pole. The Honda versus the Lamborghini. Well, cannot wait to see this happen. His first pole position here at this race marks Shane's 50th. So it's a night of appearance making for people tonight. Samplava's 100th tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. So Shane makes his 50th race start. Everybody makes the race start here in this one, Dan. DJ Phil will not return to the pits on this start. Here we go, though. This could be an absolute crackerjack of a race. 1 hour of Zandvoort. It's about to get chaotic.
It is about to get chaotic. I'm going to go on board with the other Audio Sport McLaren. One started last at the back of the pack earlier. Now I'm on board with the other one. Smithy was the one before. I'm with Kelly at the back of the pack. And it's going to be an interesting one. An hour-long race. Can they keep their noses clean?
Louis Allen at the front. Dennis Newman at the back. Everybody else in between. 18 cars here at Zandvoort. And we are Green and go here for the 12th round of the season. Look at them all drivers getting some different starts there. No drive-through penalties. A bit of a bump between Pepe and Argent, and Bryn leads us into turn 1. And stays second place. That is Leon Fernie currently in third. A few bits of gravel ahead, kicking up in the background. I think is that Argent who's dropped down to the back of the pack.
Bill went wide, and Stelsloff has been caught in chaos. He's dropped right to the back of the pack as well. Bill on his own went wide at turn 1. Stelsloff was sideways from my view, but everyone else relatively clean all the way through. And
who's that?
They go.
I think PN is on the grass. Yes, he is. PN Motorsport on the grass. And look at Smithy side by side with Welshie. Through they come. All the traffic of the quick guys behind from the first race having to be patient and wait here. Smithy gets the job done. Argent's now being attacked from the Wolfenator as Welshie's very wide. Wolfenator and Holty and Pepe and Shane and Dennis. Everybody trying to pick up places. Kelly's already got 3 from the back. Dennis up the inside of Pepe though. Into the middle sector they come. That'll be a thank you mama for the carrots, he says. He looks to try and get Welchie, and Kelly's following. Dennis is through.
Lewis is taking the lead. Back this race, the Honda leads.
Oh, Wolfenator's lost the car and straight into the path of KLF 900.
Leon Fernie was attacking Bryn. Bryn's gone straight on at the chicane. Leon Fernie's there and gets the position back. Leon Fernie now into P2. The Hitman is right behind Bryn with Ardic dropping behind the Daz Automatic, who's already up to P5. Come on, Daz.
Great start from Daz. We've got the Hitman on his second race start now, right? Bryn, as Bryn made a mistake coming into the chicane. Down the start straight, there you go. It's Lewis from Leon Fernie, from Bryn, from the Hitman. The Hitman pulls to the outside line. Bryn's defending him nice and easy. Hitman's going to have to go a long way around the outside. Thinks better of it and patiently waits with them marbles just being picked up. Daz 5th, Ardic 6th, Argent 7th, Shane's in 8th, Dennis 9th, then Holty, Pepe, DJ Phil, ahead of PN and the Wolfenator. Smithy is, whoa, where's Welchie going? He's jumps over the curb backwards into the wall. Stelsloff and Kelly will get past Welchie as well. He was off to Narnia there, I think.
I didn't even get to see that, so I'll see it on the screen in a moment's time. But I'm watching the leaders at the minute, and Lewis has just disappeared into this. Leon Fernie's got a healthy gap as Hitman's got a Bryn breathing down his neck. Hitman's breathing down the neck of Bryn, while Daz has got Ardic. A bit of support as the faster boys now work their way through the order. Just lost out to a couple of the guys as well.
Bryn very sideways through the corner, then he's managed to hold it together and stay in front of the Hitman just for now. He's got Daz Automatic right on the back of him as well, and here comes Bryn doing absolute bits. That car is sideways though. Another slide through the corner. Here comes the Hitman. Daz is with him as well. Hitman's already through. Here comes Daz Automatic to try and get past Bryn. He's back to that one. Thinks better of it. Bryn's with the inside, day late, dollar short, has missed it all, and Daz gets through. Will Bryn manage to get back on before his teammate comes round though? Yes, he does, but Shane will get past. Argent trying to attack Dennis. Dennis though has got through, and is he going to get past Bryn? Yes.
Yeah, just gave the Bryn gave him a slight tap on the rear, and as he done so of the Hitman, and I think he's lost a little bit of time there, and Hitman now looking to try and stick with the back of Leon Fernie, but he's got PN breathing down his neck. Shane has had a fly already, managed to keep his nose clean. He's brought Dennis with him though. You've got Argent and Holty not too far away behind, but Holty with a bit of a buffer at the minute. But who knows, he's been talking about his work possibly changing shifts at any point. And so every point counts.
DJ Phil's missed his brakes like Welchie did into turn 1. Drivers just look like they're struggling. He's glossed out now to PN, Stelsloff and Kelly. Kelly with damages back ahead of his teammate and ahead of Welchie, and he's now ahead of DJ Phil. Just drivers just seeming to lose a bit of concentration at the minute.
Hitman's
Dennis though. Yeah, I was going to say Dennis moving up to 5. What's happened to Hitman?
I'm not exactly sure. I was looking at someone else at the time, and he's lost loads of places. Bryn's all over the shop behind him. So maybe Bryn's suffering with tyre temperature. Oh, he's got round. And the 2 Bentleys. Oh my God, how they managed to avoid that spinning Lamborghini, I do not know.
Bryn's managed to get it back going out the wall. He could have some damage and may need to pit early in this one. Dennis now on the back of Shane. Dennis running P4. Daz back on the podium. Dennis running P5. Shane running P4. Daz looking on the back of Leon Fernie. The Honda, though, checked out up front, and he's got a 6.4 second lead here.
He has indeed. Now the fast boys are coming, though, so he's got He hasn't got much time to make at the minute, as I think the first man to really start making some progress into his lead will be Daz, but he needs to clear Leon Fernie. I think Shane and Dennis are going to be too busy fighting each other.
Yeah.
That Lewis has got a great opportunity of him just disappearing into the distance. Daz on the attack, though, of Leon Fernie into turn 1.
Daz down the inside, Dennis in the background as well. Looks like he's going to have a look on Shane. Dennis tucks back in and manages to not collect Shane there or do that one, but Daz is through. Leon's down to third. Now Shane can become the attacker of Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie managing to just do so well. Daz, what happened there? I just jumped off him.
He just had a big old slide as he goes into the hairpin, but he managed to get it going. Leon Fernie, though, very slow out the corner, and that's holding everybody up. Shane, Dennis, and all these guys just behind him. They're going to have to be so patient. Daz has an opportunity to try and build a gap while these are trying to clear Leon Fernie.
Dennis just behind Shane, brakes on the grass. He just had a bit of a wiggle in the background. Shane's looking. This will be a ballsy move. Shane, I think he's going to let him go. This has caught Dennis out, and the Hitman and Dennis side by side with Shane. And again, Leon Fernie's been tapped on the rear, and Holty's come up the inside. Now Argy Bargy's going to look up the inside. Dennis manages to get past. Leon Fernie's now made contact with Holty, and I think Dennis and Holty are still side by side. It's all going off in this big pack. Holty's through. Shane and Argent side by side. Now Argent's looking on the back of Dennis. Look at this for an absolute scrap. Argent up the inside into the chicane on Dennis. Does he get it stopped? Yes, he does, but doesn't get it done.
Leon Fernie had to go straight on at the chicane as well. So I was going to say, how hot has Leon Fernie managed to keep all those cars behind him? I don't know, but Shane is the only one that's not managed to get past him now. And poor Shane will have to sit to the back of that McLaren once again.
Shane's going to have to look at him up into tier 1. So it's Louis, 8 seconds from Daz. Got a bit of breathing space to Hitman. Then it's Holty, then it's Dennis. Dennis having a look on Holty towards turn 1. Argent then just behind. Leon Fernie, Shane. Shane still can't get past into turn 1. Peppy, P9, gaining as is Wolfinator. Ardic has Stealth Sloth, PM, and that looks to be KLF in the background. Coming, Bryn's in the wall in the background once again here. And here comes Ardic from Stealth from PN Kelly. Then it's DJ Phil who's past Bryn, Smithy and Welshie.
Something really weird just happened there. Leon Fernie's car just went through a wall. But okay.
Yeah.
So Shane on the back of him, maybe Leon Fernie maybe struggling with lag issues possibly. But Shane right on the back of that McLaren once again and possibly getting very, very frustrated now. And he wants to clear that McLaren as quickly as he possibly can because he can see his championship rival in about 3 or 4 places up ahead of him. And Dennis is in the scrap of that as well. There's a car off in the end of the first sector.
That's Bryn, car number 7. And we've lost Bryn from this race, so hopefully we can get him back in. If that is a retirement, though, that will be a quali ban and a second retirement to the season for Bryn in this one. Then Jamie Brazier probably got off at turn 3. Not sure who that is. Fantastic stuff, says Benedek in the chat. Hitman the opportunistic, says Jamie Brazier, and Smithy let's go, says Ariel in the chat as well. Daz running a little wide here. Holty can play the villain in this. Instead of gaining on Hitman, he could really push Dennis into Kieran Argent here, his teammate.
Yeah, but Holty, again, like I said, he's got damage to the side of his car, and he's got to think about his work shifts at the minute. He needs every single point he can possibly get in case he has to go to work and misses a round. So Shane, on the other hand, has to try and clear the Leon Fernie McLaren in front of him and try and make some sort of leeway forward as Dennis is right on the back of Holty.
Just dropping down the order here. Stealth Sloth is behind KLF now, so them two have swapped around. Kelly, in fact, has got past PN as well. Stealth Sloth looking to defend from PN, looking to attack from Kelly, and nothing changes with them three. DJ, Phil, Smithy and Welshie back down the order, but back to Dennis up front on the back of Holty here.
He's right in the middle of this Bentley sandwich and he can't seem to find a way through. The Audi looked the more superior car, but this is his first proper reverse grid where he's at the back of the pack and he cannot find a way past Holty right now on the tight, twisty circuits of Zandvoort. And now we got Argent getting interested now right behind him. So he's got one Bentley in front of him, and I'll tell you now, it's difficult to look past the Bentley. And he's got another giant one behind him.
He's got opportunity. Is this Argent's opportunity to come up the inside? It's not. He's on the outside line. And this then is going to hurt Argent if he can keep it round the inside. He doesn't know. Breaks a little earlier. And Dennis keeps hold of that position. But this now. Oh, Dennis! He's lost the rear. And Argent's gone through.
He has gone through. Meanwhile, Hitman has been slowly creeping onto the back of Daz. Daz just struggling by the looks of things on his own. Not able to bring the gap down to Lewis at the minute, who's way out in front at this stage. And I'm going to find out some lap times while
go on the Honda. Go on the
Lewis.
Honda. 8/10 between Hitman and Daz then. As we cross the line, it's Holty, Argent. Then it's Dennis down in 6th. Shane has got past Leon Fernie this lap. And I tell you what, that's good. Because Pepe and Green Wolfenator are now on the back of Leon Fernie, or getting close to the back. Here comes Wolfenator on Pepe into turn 1. No, not this time. Audic still ahead of Kelly, Stovsloff and PN. Look at this battle down the back of the pack. Dan, give us some lap times.
Lewis in front is doing 38.8, was his last lap. Daz did a 39.1. Meanwhile, Hitman out of the three of them was the fastest. He did a 38.0. So he's the man on the move at the minute in P3 and looking to try and find his way past Daz. But Daz is has proven himself now. He's definitely a man to get on the podium. Can he get his first win? That is the question. As he might need a bit of luck of Lewis maybe getting a little bit of traffic or maybe pit stops. He did a great pit stop strategy earlier on. Can he pull it off again for the win here tonight? But Hitman breathing down his neck in that Aston Martin.
Excuse me, just had to mute the mic there a second. I was sneezing, but Hitman is really breathing down his neck there. In the background, you see Holty and Argent. Dennis not gaining on the back of Argent as we maybe expected after his race 1 pace. So just possibly struggling a little bit here is Dennis. Hitman,
yeah.
Possibly so. Hitman definitely gaining on Daz here. And I tell you what, this is really helping Louis out at the moment. 9.1 seconds through Sector 2. Hitman, 2 wheels on the gravel. Has managed to hang on to that one.
Yeah, Louis just up and gone. I mean, he's still, the stickers still see him just about, but Hitman is really making Daz fight for this. Actually, Louis lost time.
He did, yeah.
He lost near enough a second just in the final sector.
Must have made a mistake coming through the final part of the lap. Argent on the back of Holty now. That gap 7/10 of a second. Will team orders come into play there? Down the pack, Leon Fernie. He's down behind Ardic and Kelly and Stealth Sloth. So what's happened here?
He's got major damage as Leon Fernie. I'm not sure, but I will investigate.
Investigate for us, please. Kelly on Ardic, PN on Stolsloff. Kelly being frustrated behind this Porsche. Probably a bit of front-end damage slowing him down. Ardic into turn 1, manages to hold off Kelly, Stolsloff and PN have to wait. And we have now lost Leon Fernie. Hopefully we can get him back in, otherwise that'll be a qualifying ban for him next week.
Looks like he's lost it all on his own. The same place where Dennis had that big moment where he went over the curb in the rear end, went a bit doolally on him. But Leon Fernie, he's been in every single wall now, and that's why he's got major damage to that car.
Yeah, and that's why he's retired from the race, because he's left the session. So hopefully him and Breen get back in to then finish the race and not serve a quali ban. Either way, Hitman still right on the back of Daz. Who's that across the gravel? It was Holty at the chicane, just losing out a bit of time. Argent got a bit wiggly. What's happened to Dennis? Because Shane's now in front. Oh, Dennis got some damage to the front of that car. The bonnet's just bouncing a little bit on my screen.
I don't know. I'm trying to get back in the lobby again.
There we go. Well, Dennis struggling here. Stealth Sloth, PN, Kelly and Ardic. Look at this for a fight down the order.
Go on, Daz.
Kelly still struggling here. Daz from Hitman. What's happening? Side-by-side action. Look at this from Daz and Hitman. And a lovely move, Hitman. Daz. Ooh!
Yeah, I look forward to watching that in a minute on the video.
Daz, wide though at the hairpin, bounces into the wall. How he's not just put that in the back of Hitman, I won't know. But Hitman up to second. Daz now third. Holty and Argent are coming. And coming, they are. Kelly still cannot get past Ardic here. Stealth and PN still sat watching. Who has Kelly?
On the inside of him now. Yeah, he's on the inside. Yeah. But he's
contact made. Ardic onto the curb and over the curb and in the wall, and loses 3 places there. Daz has lost out to Holty and Argent here.
He's probably just had a loose moment by the looks of things, and overheat the tyres. Argent actually looks like the better Bentley right now. Are they going to have team orders and just let Argent go? Because at the minute, Holty's actually holding Argent up.
He is, and Argent being 3.7 seconds behind Hitman could really do with catching Hitman up for a race with here. Hitman starting to close in on Lewis up front, but Argent wide himself. This allows Daz and Shane now coming back into this. Dennis, big damage dropping off the back of Shane here, Dan, and Wolfenator will slowly want to creep onto the back of him.
Well, indeed, Shane's right in this scrap now, so Shane's still impossible for a race win at the minute, because Hitman at the lap times that he's doing, what are these guys doing just behind them as well? So Shane possibly got an opportunity still for a race win here. He's just got to be patient and take his time to try and eliminate those silly little errors he normally has.
Argent just making some silly errors. He's just looking up the inside and outside of his teammate, and then corner exit, just having a few little wiggles and a few little shaky moments, and this is really costing him here. But it's Lewis Allen out front from the Hitman. Then it is Holty and Argent coming through the pack. There they are then. Fantastic little scrap down to Stovsloff, who's trying to gain on the back of Kelly. Not close enough though at the current moment. Kelly goes a little deep at the exit of one, manages to hold on to that one. Shane now gaining on the back of Daz, and Argent, I don't know if he's going to be telling Holter here, come on mate, let me go here because I've got the better car at the moment.
Oh, he's gone very wide again. His last lap was on 1 minute 40.1. Well, the guys in front, they're matching the Hitman. But Argent, you can just tell he's just got more pace and performance.
Shane with nearly a textbook move there, just trying to undercut, and there we go. A&H Motorsport have called the orders. Argent has been let go here to catch the Hitman, whose gap to Lewis out front has opened up back to 8.4, so Argent can have a real go here. Shane nearly made a textbook move on Daz there, but well defended from Daz, and I tell you what, Zandvoort providing some fantastic racing tonight.
Yeah, it's obviously if you opportunity in one corner, then it gives another one in the one straight after. So at the minute, Shane is still trying to hassle his way past PN, but he might have to do it on the brakes into turn one. He's there, and Daz eventually has to concede, but Shane's missed his brakes and gone wide.
Yeah, here comes
silly little errors coming in again.
Here comes Dennis, and Dennis doesn't get past. He's just not close enough at the moment. Back down the order. Ardic now gaining on Stovsloff, so Stovsloff's lost out to PN. He's got big damage to the front of that Lamborghini as well. So for Ardic here, he could find himself in front. 2 minutes till the pit window opens, so still a lot to happen here. Holty, P4 now, has got Daz. In fact, has Shane lost out to Newman? He has to Dennis. Shane has lost out to the Audi driver.
Yeah. Obviously the tyres will not be happy, and I know for a fact that Lamborghini does not like its rear tyres being too hot, and it takes a while for them to cool down. Obviously with the track temperature at the minute at 31 degrees, it's really difficult to keep the track temperature down. He's also looks like he's got a bit of front end damage to the front of that car, so he's probably carrying a little bit of aero damage as well, which won't be too happy. And Dennis is now on the back of Daz. Daz had a moment, and Daz has gone wide. They make contact, and through goes Dennis.
Dennis through then up to P5, even with his damage. He looks slow in a straight line, but Dennis at the minute now able to hold. Argent got past Holty and has actually lost time to the Hitman.
Daz, no! He just missed his brakes ever so slightly and nearly hit the back of Dennis. Chose to go straight on at the chicane and managed to get away with it quite lightly there, but Daz, his race is turning inside out now.
Hitman gets the gap down to Louis Allen out front to 6.6 seconds. Argent, who was 3.7 behind him, just isn't making them inroads. He's got the gap back down to 3.9. Holty's now a second behind his teammate. Dennis has got Shane crawling all over the back of him. Here comes Shane into turn one, and once again cannot get the Lamborghini stopped. Dennis will take that place back. Daz having a look, but he's just too far behind. Shane a bit too hot and heavy into turn one there, and he's just struggling to get that car stopped. Ardic in too early, so he's going to have to pit again. That kind of ruins his race.
Yeah, meanwhile, while all these guys are too busy fighting one another, who's creeping onto the back of them? The man in P8, the Wolfenator, as Wolfie, as Daz seems to call him now. Wolfie is slowly working his way onto the back of this pack and getting himself back into this race.
Love that nickname from Daz there for the Wolfenator, Wolfie. Now I think Ardic has returned to the pit, so has he smashed his car up a bit more than what he expected here? Because Welsh's just gone through, or DJ Phil's just gone through, should I say. So I reckon that Audix possibly smashed the car up a little more than he's needed to. Leaders crossing the line. No, not sure of that. Sorry, no. Now Welshie and Smithy and Phil have all gone through. And what has happened at turn 1? There is a yellow flag waving. I think Smithy's been off, and Welshie and DJ Phil have both got through there. Either way, Hitman. Argent started to make inroads to him. Hitman bringing the gap down now to Louis out front. So he's been in the lead for 20 minutes. Pit window's now open just as Argent could dive in. Halty, though, will be the first man to react to pit stop. That looks a little quick. Get that slowed down. And I think he does so indeed. Dennis as well is going to pull the trigger, as is Daz Automatic here and Green Wolfenator. So a lot of drivers, Dan, getting their stop done early.
Maybe they got damage and they just want to get rid of that damage. Then they have plenty of time to work their way through the order. But who's got the biggest amount of damage? Possibly Dennis, as all these guys come into the pit window. And yeah, at the minute, I think the man who should jump most of them might be Daz, mainly Wolfenator, I think, maybe, because I don't know how much damage he had on his car. Pepe's in as well. So yep. Ardix already was in anyway. Kelly carries on through. He's having a fight with PN.
Yeah, Stealth Sloth, I imagine, will possibly come into the pits. That bonnet is lifted on my screen, so Stealth, I imagine, is going to come in. He pulls to the side now. He is going to work his way in. Phil's having a cracking scrap here with Welshie and Smithy as well. So a good little battle down the top end and the bottom end of the pack here. But with most of the cars in the pit, this is the quietest this circuit has been all night.
Yeah, it has been. Most of the cars in the pits, even when we had qualifying for just the top half, it was still more chaotic going on than this at the minute. But a load of guys in the pits. Argent slowly bringing that gap down again to Hitman, but he's had a moment on the curb and he lost the rear. So Argent's going to have to rebuild that time
good
back
move.
up. But Shane, on the other hand.
Sorry, Dan. Welsh up the inside of DJ Phil. Smithy tried to follow, couldn't get it done. Lovely move. Just done on the brakes from Welshie there. Fantastic stuff. Just as Halty come out of the pits before them.
Yeah, so Halty obviously luckily not being involved in this scrap and gets away with it. Shane's coming to the pits.
So Shane pits this time around, does the undercut. Oh, did he pretty much stop there at pit entry?
He came in pretty quick.
Oh, Lewis is off! Lewis is off!
Oh no, Lewis, no. Now it's the Hitman who leads the way, with Argent only 2.1 behind. So are we going to get the teammates a double win here, with Dennis racing race 1 and Hitman possibly winning race 2? Yeah, interesting to see. Obviously driving his independence in the league, but racing under the JWB team name. And I'm sure that the team will be loving the fact that they're seeing their boys do so well at the minute. Argent 1.9 Hitman now. He's got Pepe in between them. Pepe lets Argent go. But for Lewis there, you have to feel for him. Was leading this race comfortably at one stage and just lost the car. Kelly and Pien carry on their way, as do Welshie, DJ Phil and Smithy, I wonder. Smithy's lost out to these two, so I'm not sure what's happened to Smithy, but Welshie well ahead of him and DJ Phil. Holty's got quite lucky in this situation, because the Wolfenator was the first of the group with Holty that came into the pits. Yeah. He's stuck behind this three-way fight at the minute, and Shane's coming out now, so he's jumped Holty. So Shane comes back out, he's jumped the Wolfenator and all them lot. So Shane... Dennis as well. He's jumped the whole pack. Yeah. He is now effectively the first leading pit car. Welshie's into the pits, Smithy carries on through, but Shane with lovely clean air. What's the next car in front of him? Stealth Sloth just going through. Yeah, Stealth Sloth just going through sector 1. He's had a big moment. It was. Stealth. He's in the wall. Dear. He's into the gravel trap, and hopefully Shane won't come across him. Stay there. 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 He's rejoined plenty of time. Good job. Yep. Well done. Nice and calm. And out the way he goes. Holty's right there with Shane, so this could get interesting now. Breathe. I mean, breathe. I was breathing before. I'm okay. So Louis is into the pits. Yeah. And Shane is only in the middle of the second sector, so Shane might jump Louis as well here. Shane might jump Louis. Will Louis come out in between himself and Holty? Holty didn't get past Stealth Sloth. I thought he did. I wonder if he had a bit of a wiggle on exit maybe, because Holty's lost a bit of time to Shane here. Just in front of Shane is PN, right on the back of Kelly. PN normally loves an early pit stop. He's not gone for it this time. Louis is now been dropped and released. Shane's at the penultimate corner. Oh, this is a bit tight. I think Louis would just hang in there.
Louis off the limiter now.
And Shane's only now exiting the final corner, so he can see was race leader.
Yeah.
So Shane now has got a lot of work to do, but he's got to put in some decent lap times now.
So it is just the top 4 left to pit. PN and Kelly having a cracking scrap at the moment, and then it's DJ Phil, well. Smithy and Ardick as well to pit, but the top 4 at the moment.
DJ Phil's in, I think. He is in.
He is, yep, DJ Phil in, so he's coming a little undercut maybe on Smithy there. Welsh obviously pitted before them. His granddad, old habits die hard for the Honda. It wanted to do some grass cutting. It did indeed. It span around like its blade on the bottom, and it made like Zandvoort look a lot better for these Dutch fans. There's Pepe and Welshie. Where is Welshie on the track, actually? He's sector 1. Has he had a moment? Not sure, but DJ Phil and Smithy might jump Welshie here. Either way, PN and Kelly, their battle rages on. As Argent's now got the gap down to 1 point. It is, yeah. Argent's got the gap down 1.4 to Hitman at the minute. We'll keep our eyes on PN and Kelly. Do they pit? No, they don't. PN does. Yes, PN does. PN's in. So he's going for the undercut here.
I think PN was starting to learn that Kelly is probably one of the hardest people to overtake, and he's now realised, yeah, this ain't working. I'm in a losing fight here, and has decided to pit. Shane, on the other hand, I'm going to keep an eye on Shane's lap times, because Louis is going to be the man that's going to be under a lot of pressure, because Shane and Holty, we know, can do some pretty decent lap times around here.
Well, Welshie will pass DJ Phil and passes DJ Phil, so Phil must be having a long stop. Welshie back up to 13th place then. He's gone very deep at turn 1, and the car behind Welshie is that of Louis. Shane 6 seconds behind. Holty a second behind him. Wolfenator only just coming through that final corner. Dennis, though, with a brand new fixed up car, is gaining on the back of Daz here. 0.8 of a second, Dennis to Daz, and this is going well for Dennis at the moment, but he has his teammate on the lead lap just behind him, about to come and lap him as DJ Phil exits the pits just behind Dennis there then. So Smithy, Ardick, what's happened to Smithy? He's dropping down the order. It's because he's in the pit lane.
He is indeed. Last lap, Holty was actually the fastest of the group at the front. He did a 37.3. Shane only did a 38.0, and Louis was obviously on his outlap of just exiting the pits. Meanwhile, behind them as well.
Louis here. Sorry, Dan. Louis is trying to lap Welch. I think Welch is letting him go, but Louis not going past and has lost a lot of time this lap. Although Holty now on the back of Shane.
He's not quite right on the back of Shane, but he's just in enough of a distance to make his presence feel. I can't say it now. Felt, that's the one. I can't speak.
You're welcome. Daz has lost out to Dennis, and to Dennis getting past another car, and it's the Wolfenator in front of him. He's trying to lap Stealth Slough here. Kelly is at boxing. Neither does Argent to Hitman. They've still got 12 minutes left. Smithy has done his stop. So where's Welshie? Smithy has jumped both Welshie and DJ Phil here. So a great stop from Welshie. Ardick, Argent, Kelly and Hitman still to pit. Shane and Holty carry on their way. Hitman, though, is coming round towards the pit entry now. Will he think of boxing? Argent has lost out massively here to Hitman. 3.2 is now the gap.
Louis' last lap was a 42, and that wasn't his outlap either.
He was held by Welshie some time there, you know.
Yeah. Holty crossed the line at 38.9 was his last lap, so he's not really rapid at the minute. Meanwhile, 38.9, he was only 3/10 off of Hitman, who's in the 38.6. But
every time Welshie's being caught, sorry Dan, every time Welshie's being caught, it's this middle sector. He lets Shane and Holty go now, but Shane's lost no time to Welshie in that middle sector yet again here, and now has Holty right on the back of him.
He has indeed. Shane is just starting to feel a little bit more pressure from that Bentley. Very different lines these two take. You see there, Shane chooses for a different... he goes for the late apex line while Holty goes early apex, and it seems like Shane gets a better run out of that sector. But Holty always missed his brakes!
By an absolute country mile, and Holty there will have to yield a lot of time to Shane. Wolfenator, good job, he's 11 seconds behind, but that is not what you want to do. Holty did not get that car stopped at all, and I tell you what there, Shane would have seen that big Bentley come in his mirrors. Shane needs this tonight. He needs good results over Holty for this championship. And at the minute, his night is going the way. There's Louis just putting a lap on Smithy, I do believe. The top 3 yet to box. Argent 2.8 to Hitman. And Dan, what was that we said at the beginning of the night before we went on air? How many drivers are getting a stop-go penalty? We've only seen 2. What did you say again?
3.
I said 5. Bit optimistic, I reckon, from me.
It's just down to 3 drivers now. Who's going to be the one to give me my money, basically? Arjun, you fancy giving me a bit early payday?
Either way,
you know, obviously, I didn't want the bad luck of obviously the newbie and obviously the other driver. Well, we know why I didn't want it to happen to the other driver. But Arjun, want to give me a tenner for speeding the pit lane?
Either way, we've got a race on here. Aston Martin, if it wins, it would be its first ever win at SimPlay. If the Bentley wins, it would be win number 14. Kelly's currently 3rd, not really in this top 3 fight. If the Honda comes back out and takes the lead, that'll be win number 17. If the Lamborghini wins, that'll be win number 57. If the Audi of Dennis wins, that'll be win number 53, pulling away from the Porsche and gaining on the Lamborghini. But the top 3 are the 3 to pit, and Kelly is now the one to pull the trigger. And, well, there goes my prediction of 5 speeding in the pit lane violations, because Kelly got it absolutely nailed.
Right, Arjun, you know what to do now, mate.
Right.
Shane's really struggling to catch on to the back of Louis here.
Yes.
I just think maybe he's starting to suffer maybe on the tyres. Obviously, they're still fresh tyres as they are, but still, like, if you push them too hard too early, they're not going to be too happy. Holty, though, sitting right behind him and not really gaining more than 8/10 at the minute. He's just sat right in 8/10 at the minute.
It just seems to be comfortable for Holty there, doesn't he? He doesn't seem to be making inroads. He's not losing out to Shane. Shane slowly, though, sector by sector, just a couple of tenths chipping away at Lewis' time. And, yeah, at the minute, the race starting to get to that midpoint lull where it'll just come away and then it comes back to us towards the end. Argy Bargy looking for an undercut right then. Louis, Shane, Holty all together. Argent in the pits. When's he at his box? Kelly's now just away. But obviously Hitman hasn't pitted yet. Argent now stops at his box.
Final corner, and Kelly stayed ahead of PN, so PN actually lost out to Kelly by quite a bit there.
Good stop then. Right, Louis, coming up towards the Sector 2 timing beam. Argent had just stopped a minute ago. Should be a pretty clean stop for Argent. But you get a feeling that if Lewis is going to get past, Shane and Holty are going to be right on the rear end of Argent. We'll see when that goes green as to when Argent's away. Towards the chicane comes Lewis now. Half a second Lewis to Shane. 0.4 of a second Shane to Holty.
Holty missed his brakes again.
He's nearly pushed Shane through the chicane there. Argent still not green just yet. Goes green now. So should have the jump over these 3. So a good stop from Argent. I tell you what, one mistake on Argent's in lap there and these 3 would have all been through.
Yeah, it would have been indeed. I think Argent, to be fair, wasn't really lapping phenomenally, but it was just Louis is a bit slow at this stage, and right now he's got Shane and Holty breathing down his neck. Holty's looking to turn 1. He's going to go for it. He's missed his brakes, and he's gone straight on.
Yeah.
These boys really struggle with their brakes here.
No comment. Did that was carbon copy of last night. That was me and you in practice. That was a carbon copy. Exactly of what happened last night. So Shane back through.
Will the Bentley get brake fade then?
Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Holty then has to wait for Shane. Hitman, though, comes into the pit lane. So where will RG feed out? Hitman reacting to Argent's penalty. Dan, I think he got his hit marker quite right as well. So we was both wrong with our pit stop predictions for who's going to get time penalties.
Oh, damn.
Hitman,
you could have got me a tenner.
Stops in his box now. And Argent is a lot closer to him than what the others was to them. So I think Argent, this is going to be a close little battle.
Oh, Shane's right there. Shane is looking all over the back of Louis right now. Louis, one mistake and Shane is going through. Shane has a much better run out of that corner, and he is right in the slipstream of the Honda. Louis already going defensive by the looks of things, but Shane looking for an opportunity, but thinks better of it. Louis goes straight to the defensive. But that's just allowed Holty to concertina back up. Argent, meanwhile, final corner, and Hitman's not moved.
Argent exits the final corner now. Hitman hasn't moved. And look who's at the penultimate corner, Dan. A trio of cars.
His time.
It's Louis, Shane, and Holty all coming through. He goes green now. Let's go on board with him, see when he comes off of his race limiter now. So he was pretty much bottom box in the pits. Here comes Shane, though. Louis already gone defensive. Argent leads this race then. Here in race 2, Louis, Shane, and Holty all trying to come through. Shane would love to get past the Honda to put a car between himself and the Bentley.
He would indeed, but he's got to be sensible about this. Holty has nothing to lose. He doesn't lose massive amount of points just sat there. He only loses a couple, so Holty could just sit and watch and put Shane under pressure. Shane needs to just take his time, work his way through the pack. If he finds Louis makes one little mistake, he needs to pounce on it.
He does need to pounce on it indeed. This is the closest battle on track. Louis is 4 seconds to Hitman. Argent gained nearly 10 seconds over the Hitman, and Hitman's got to get his tyres up to pressure. Luckily, this track actually gets the tyres up to pressure and temperature reasonably quickly. Shane just losing out a bit of time to Louis in that middle sector is not setting him up for this back part of the lap. He then has to work hard at this part of the lap to get his run into turn 1. Holty, though, better in the middle sector than Shane, is allowing Shane to feel some pressure down towards the chicane. They come once again. Louis a bit further in front of Shane, and Holty maybe didn't get his power down as quick as he wanted out of that little left-right section. Shane to the outside, can't get it done.
Yeah, I think Shane is just getting to that point. He's starting to get frustrated. He's starting to get annoyed with that Honda. And Holty, like I said, all he has to do is just sit there and watch. His teammate is taking maximum points at the minute. We've got two drivers, that's really not in this championship fight at all. They've basically all been knocked out already, and Shane is just frustrated behind that car. So really, this is the best thing for Holty and Argent right now. But Shane is on his own. He's looking to the outside of turn 1, and Louis holds on to that position while Shane can't find that way through.
He just hasn't got the problem with Zandvoort. It is indeed. He just hasn't got the confidence to get on the brakes and go around the outside of Louis then. And Louis and the Honda doing a fantastic job, losing time to the Hitman. But that isn't his concern. 3 men really, Dan, not in this championship fight, because Argy Bargy's not really close enough at the moment as well. What is Argent behind Holty in this championship standings? That gap is 74. Well, at the minute, even with Argent getting the win, he's not going to pull himself massively back into this, but he is going to pull himself in it a little bit. Shane getting very frustrated, as is Holty then. Will Holty take this just sat behind Shane? Do we think that's why Holty's not looking to be aggressive at the moment?
At the minute, yes, he's probably like, you know what, it's only Argent out up front at the minute. If Shane makes a mistake, then yes, he'll try and pounce on it, and he seems to know that he's a lot stronger in the middle sector. I think the Bentley is stronger in the middle sector compared to the Lamborghini, but yeah, it's just at this minute, Holty's just not stressed. He's quite happy just to sit there and wait for the opportunity to come to him, wait for what happens to Lamborghini. We seem to think that the Lamborghini seems to fade towards the end and struggle, but at the minute, there's nothing really happening between these three, as they're all starting to learn exactly the same things that they're doing. If Louis keeps doing what he's doing, then Shane can't find a way through because he can't think of something new.
Dennis has got past the Wolfenator. He's P6, but 10 seconds behind this battle. Wolfenator's 7th. Daz is down in 8th, ahead of Pepe 9th. Kelly in 10th place, 9 seconds behind Pepe. Kelly and Pepe have been reasonable pace all season to each other. PN, 5 seconds to KLF. Smithy's down in 12th, with Stelsoft gaining on him 13th place. Oh, I say that. Stelf's just had a big moment through the chicane. He's going to lose time. Then it's Welshie, DJ Phil and Ardic, obviously. Argent and Hitman, your race leaders. As Shane a little on the grass through turn 3 and 4. And that has allowed Louis just to pull away a little bit. Shane loses the rear there, has a slide out the hairpin. And now Louis gone. Holty can pounce.
Yeah, Holty, really not an overtaking opportunity here, Holty. He'd be brave to do so, but I think, again, he's just going to have to wait. He just had a moment where the Lamborghini looked vulnerable for a second, and Holty patiently waiting for the right time. He was not close enough, and it really was not the overtaking opportunity, because that would have ended up in a big crash and possibly into the steward's room.
Very sensible there from Holty then. Just where the Bentley starts to become good and dominant, he loses out and can't get that one done. Argent 12 seconds out front to Hitman, so he's really started to pull away from the Hitman here, but Hitman on the podium. Louis 5.6 behind the Hitman, and now Shane has a second between him and Holty, and he's now, I was going to say within a second to Louis, but I think he's just closed that second on the brakes. Looking down the order. Sorry, go on.
Shane just needs to find that time and just be confident. Don't be just being more fine and learn the brakes and understand why Louis ran very, very wide. Meanwhile, Kelly and PN, they're carrying on their fight as Kelly's actually gone off. Kelly's gone off somewhere.
Yeah, so PN's ahead of Kelly now, and Kelly's 5 seconds behind PN, so hopefully... Oh, Kelly's got some damage to that car, it looks like, Dan. Kelly's got damage.
Yeah. He's got a fair amount of damage to the front of that car. Shane has actually managed to drop Holty. Holty's lost a lot of time this lap.
He has lost a lot of time. And Shane back onto the back of Lewis. And did Shane just get some dirt on his tyres, maybe? That's why the couple of corners, it just, you know, had a bit of a slide, had a bit of a wiggle. Holty's lost immense time to Shane, though. We'll see if that's come down through Sector 1. Now that Shane is back on the rear end of Louis. Pit window is now closed. It doesn't matter as everybody has pitted. 6/10 to gap, Shane. And yes, look, Holty must have just had a moment through one of the corners. He's got that gap back down 7/10.
Yeah, I think it's just we're sitting in the dirty air for so long. Your tyres start to overheat a little bit. We seem to learn that the Bentley on the front end of the car seems to suffer more with temperature on the front left. I think around here is what has been rumoured for the Bentley, and for the Lamborghini, it's the rear left that's struggling around here. It's obviously where we think the weight of the engines really puts the wear on which side the car is struggling, and the Lamborghini looks like it had a great run on the back of Louis. Back to the chicane once again. Is Louis going to make his break?
No, he's outbraked himself.
This is the mistake that Shane needs.
Louis had to go across the grass. The problem for Shane is he wants Louis to get back on before Holty can get past, and he does. Louis tries to defend. Holty, though, manages to squeeze up the inside and follow through. So Shane's got the move done like he wanted.
Holty had a twitch. Holty had a twitch as he went through the penultimate corner. Louis right there. He could be any closer if he tried. He's going to go down the inside. Kelly's into the pits for his damage. Is Louis going to send it into turn 1? He's right there. He's right there. Holty squeezing him to the wall.
Oh, very, very tight on the squeeze. Holty's deep. Holty's deep, and Louis will tuck up the inside and go through. Dennis is only 6.9 off the back of this as well. So Holty really struggling. A flash of the lights there from Holty, but I didn't see what Louis did wrong at all there. If anything, Holty a bit naughty on the squeeze. Either way, Louis holding off Holty now, and Shane's getting away. Has he, though, got time to gain?
That's a lot of time to
8.5 seconds to Hitman.
So Hitman's lap times, let's have a look and see here. He's in the 37.2s. He's actually, that was his personal best last lap. So he's actually got some decent pace underneath him. Can Shane bring the gap of 8.5 to the end after stressing those tyres out in a scrap behind Louis and Holty?
Be a tough show. Be a tough show. Holty looking to the outside and now trying to cut underneath the Honda of Louis, but he's again going to be on the outside for the next part of the corner. He's going to try and go right round the outside, is he? No, tucks back in behind. Now he's going to try and tuck underneath Louis again. Can't do it there. Now Louis and Holty go side by side. Not quite, as Holty didn't get the run. Look who's in the background of this battle, though. It's 3.8 seconds, and you get Dennis involved in this fight. Louis here led for some time, made a mistake. He's been a nuisance for this final podium. What a bit of a race we've got on our hand, and what a race we're going to have on our hands tomorrow night. Pro go at Zandvoort. The top 20 in Pro, the top 20 SimPlay drivers in GT3 on ACC are going to take to this course. Myself and Dan will be on track. That Bozzy Boy and PM Motorsport in the comms bikes. Do believe Fury's granddad may be a special guest with them again there, so you will not want to miss that. Or 8 PM GMT +1 for those of you who don't turn your clocks forward and back for that one. Same time as tonight, with the service hopefully running well. And if tomorrow night's anything like tonight's been, it's going to be frantic racing as Louis goes a little wide. Holty now tucks up the inside. Louis there nearly makes contact with the rear quarter panel of Holty's Bentley, but all through squeaky clean. And now Dennis, like the great white shark, is lurking and charging for his prey.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. Very nicely done there, man.
Thank you.
How long have you been holding that one in for?
It just came to me then, actually. To be fair, I've not been holding that in at all. Yeah.
I definitely prefer that one to thank you, Mama, for the carrots, because that one's just cringe for me.
Fair enough.
Kelly and Arctic have come together, and Arctic is holding up Arjun. Yeah, Arjun's just got in the middle of that scrap. And Kelly's now in a fight with Welshie. Welshie's on the back of Kelly now.
And Ardic's a lap down to Kelly and Welshie. So, yeah, Kelly's not going to be happy with that one. He tucks back into the slipstream now. He's hopefully going to get himself past Ardic. Welshie trying to get through as well as... Oh, there! Contact! What has happened there? What has Ardic done there? And that's contact for Kelly and Ardick, and that's them two both off. Welshie will go through. Lewis sticking to Holty here at the moment, Dan.
Yeah, Holty makes another mistake, and Louis is going to be right there. I don't think Kelly is going to be very, very happy with Ardick. Welshie goes through. The only man now to get past Kelly is DJ Phil, and DJ Phil is just behind him now. So Ardick, what on earth was that all about? Shouldn't be fighting with leaders.
No, he shouldn't be. He should be. He's free to hold his line, but not free to defend and race them. Shane, 7.1 to Hitman, so that gap over the last 3 minutes has come down a second. What is it now through Sector 1 as Shane's just about to get there? It's now down to 6.6. Shane is charging, Dan.
Hitman's stuck behind the McLaren of DJ Phil right now and can't find a way through. He's finally found it, and through he goes. And DJ Phil lets him go through. Shane is then next to come to him. Let's look at Shane's lap times. Let's see how quick he is going. He's only in the
Lewis is round.
So,
Lewis is round. Dennis has got through. Lewis is round. Wolfenator's coming. And Wolfenator's putting in the wall on his own.
Oh.
I think he was avoiding the back of Lewis's car, and that is big damage for Wolfenator.
That's where the barrier sticks out, and he's gone straight into that. That was just bad luck there for him. As Dennis is right on the back of Holty.
Yeah, Dennis coming on Holty now. So has Holty made another couple of mistakes? He seems to have lost all his pace that he had with Shane earlier. Dennis looking to get into the top four. Shane would absolutely love a car between Holty and himself. He's now 5.9 to Hitman down. So Shane is like a bull in a china shop at the moment. He is rampaging through this field. 5.9 the gap. 13 seconds Hitman to Argent. But Dennis gets a better run out the final corner. Is he going to look to the inside of Holty? That small Audi. You can barely see it behind Holty's Bentley. Pulls out now into turn one. Thinks better of it. Got all excited
Kelly
for nothing.
and Ardick have just come together, and Ardick has lost out because Kelly's giving him a shove out the way. As these two are carrying on their scrap. And Shane, on the other hand, was on the back of these guys, and he's lost time. While all these guys are too busy playing bumper cars, he can't find a way through. Wolfenator into the pits, obviously, with that major damage to his car. Shane, on the other hand, is in dangerous territory right now. He's actually lost 9/10 to Hitman because he has to try and clear this gaggle of cars of DJ Phil, Ardick, and KLF.
And this is why I think a few drivers, Dan, have been saying about the blue flag rule. Ardick's hit the back of Phil, and this is going to end badly for Shane. Why are the back markers racing him? I think we may need to call an admin meeting on this one and get the blue flag rule changed now, because this is causing a few problems in this championship. Ardick now, what is he doing?
Not a clue. He's just taken out a lot of the drivers there. That is unsportsmanlike behaviour.
Yeah. That's going to be one for the stewards to look at. Shane has lost out so much time there. Let's go back to Dennis and highlight the good racing that has been happening tonight.
Dennis nearly got affected by that as well. So right now, Ardick needs to really just retire that car.
Yeah, he does indeed. I think Kelly and Phil are also walking wounded. They're just sort of staying out the way of the traffic coming through.
Well, DJ Phil was right in the middle of the track. He moves to the right-hand side now.
What a shame, because it's been a good night, and silly little games here. Dennis, so let's get back to the racing. Dennis on the back of Holty, half a second is the gap, and this an absolutely fantastic one.
It is indeed. Dennis obviously having to negotiate the chaos that was happening earlier on, and Ardick is parked up on the side and not moving. And he's now returned to the pits. Kelly's into the pits. DJ Phil's going to keep... DJ Phil's still going.
Well,
he's got his indicator on to say he's staying to the side. Obviously, he doesn't want to pit for some reason, and he's still going.
Well, fair play for DJ Phil here, but Dennis, he's got himself in that half a second window here, Dan, and he's just kind of in a lull. Do you know how Holty was with Shane? He got within 8/10 and just kind of couldn't seem to get that bit closer. Dennis in that same little lull at the moment here, where he's within half a second but can't seem to get right on the back of Holty here. Whether he's just overdone his tyres and he's letting them come back to him, we'll find out.
Well, obviously the lap before, he obviously just had to negotiate all the chaos that's just happened. So maybe he's got a little bit of dirt on his tyres, a little bit of marbles. Now he's just trying to get himself together and try and go for Argent again. But poor Shane, though, was in the middle of all that. He was catching Hitman, and now he's lost. He was within 5 seconds of him, and now he's down to 11 seconds behind Hitman. So Shane is on the podium. The only thing he's got to hope for now is that Dennis can find his way past Holty.
Just a quick word, Wolfinator back out the pits. He's dropped to P10 behind PM Motorsport, Pepe and Daz Automatic. Lewis still going P6. Stovsloff's up to 11th. I say that. He's in the gravel as Smithy just finds his way through. He's well off there, middle of the circuit, middle sector of the circuit. Welshie, I don't think, he's on the same lap, but way behind. So Stovsloff now 12th. Smithy up to 11th with Argent on the back of him. Back to this Dennis versus Holty fight. It's still within half a second, and Dennis just can't seem to get any closer than that.
And he's getting very close to the grass and white line. I think that's what he's trying so hard to find the time and try and push his way through and try and gain that time on Holty, and it's just not working out. He's just pushing himself a little bit too hard in places.
He is indeed, and that's possibly what's causing his problems here. 11.9 Shane to Hitman, 12.3 Hitman to Argent. 9 seconds it was Holty to Shane. Dennis though here, what a night Dennis has had. We're into the final 9 minutes of the race. The poll's going to go out now for your driver of the day. We'll get mine and Dan's opinion at the end of the night. But yeah, what a night's worth of racing. Ball what's happened with Ardick and Kelly there. It's still been a good night's worth of entertainment, Dan.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, but that's one of the other natures of this circuit. It's very tight, very twisty, as we've all seen. Not really the best overtaking opportunities, but either way, the top guys have come out on top. Hitman has now got a little bit of traffic to Stovsloff. He's going to try and clear him as quickly as he possibly can. Stovsloff moves to one side and gets right out of his way, and through he goes.
So the poll goes up for who you think is driver of the day. If you disagree with any of them four, don't forget to get it in the comments section. Don't forget Zandvoort tomorrow night, 8 PM GMT +1 for the guys out there who aren't on the UK time. That is when we'll be live with Liam Bostock, Phil, or PM Motorsport as he's known, in the chat. Possibly special guest by Fury's granddad, and then join this man, this handsome devil, Dan Davis, live Sunday night as car 69 and 8. That is both the MC Motorsport boys are stopped on track here. Stovsloff's had a spin. Welshie is...
That's where she ran out of fuel.
I think he has there. He's returned to the pits. I think Welshie's out of fuel. DJ Phil in the pit lane as well. Oh dear. Welshie's ran out of fuel. Happens to the best of us, Dan, doesn't it?
Yeah. Especially in the Clio. Those things are really thirsty.
Either way, yeah, join Dan Davis live, 8 PM GMT +1 again Sunday night. Monza the race this week for Formula 1, so make sure you join us live for that. Monza there, Monza next week on ACC for these Pro-Am boys.
No, it's not.
Is it not? I believe it is, isn't it?
I don't believe it is.
It is, it's Monza next week for these boys, yeah.
So we have got a week of Monza. I was wrong. The other night I said it wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, week of Monza. Bring it on. I don't like Monza anyway, but we did 6 hours of it, staring into nothing.
Yeah.
But Holty still massive pressure from him. Dennis right behind. Dennis just pushing the limits, just touching the gravel, making mistakes here and there. I think Kelly's now seen the cars are in the pit, so he's now going to go back out and try and get the places as DJ Phil now comes back out. Well, she's in the pits. If he just put some fuel in it, mate, off you go again. But obviously he's got his controls locked as well, which won't help.
TJ Phil's out, so he's out of the pit lane. And Dennis here really trying to put Holty under pressure. Do you know what? I really feel sorry for Shane here. Got caught up in incidents that he didn't need to. He's trying to push his way forward. Yeah. Well, it's put a dampener on the night, really. That has.
Yeah, it has a little bit. I think frustration started kicking in at that point, but yeah, not what we would have wanted to see towards the end of this night.
No, it's not. Dennis now really close to Holty, looking up the inside, maybe towards the chicane. You barely see that Audi when it's tucked in behind the Bentley. Later on the brakes, no, tucks back in behind Holty then, and into the chicane he comes. lap number 32. We've got 6 minutes left of this race, and Daz here trying to do the business. He's now as close as he has ever been in this race to Holty. Really wants that extra position, and that'll possibly put a bit more of a smile on Shane's face. Dennis down the start straight towards Holty here then.
Dennis really just needs to try and push Holty into a mistake now, because he's running out of time. We've probably got 3 laps still to go, and at this minute Dennis is not looking like he's going to find a way through. Really struggling is Dennis here. He gets close, but this is proving the nature of this Zandvoort circuit, Dan, is it's just difficult to overtake on. Yeah, unless you have significant pace. And then again, you still need to nail this lap as best you possibly can. It's just not happening here for Dennis, and he's just going to run out of time by the list of things. But a man who's looking forward for the time running out is the man out in front, Argent number 52 of the Bentley driver. And ever since the pit stops, he's had it very, very easy from there and onwards. The Hitman as well, second race, he's going to be looking for a podium. That'll be fantastic stuff for him. Shane on the podium, obviously not what he would have wanted, but still a podium for him nonetheless. Holty. Shane really now wants to see that Audi go above the Bentley. Jamie Brace here in the chat. If we'd have done Zandvoort in F1, then we'd have had a week of Spa, a week of Zandvoort, and a week of Monza, all in a row. We also, don't forget, Jamie, had a week of Silverstone, so we'd have had all of them in a row there. That would have been fantastic. Now, good run out the final corner here, tucking into the slipstream of the Bentley. Here comes Dennis. Is this his best opportunity? He pulls to the inside. He's just got to be brave on the brakes. The Bentley grunt is keeping Holty in front on these straights, and is really now starting to frustrate Dennis a little bit here. He is indeed, and time is running out. Holty's doing everything right. Just remember that Bentley is so big and wide that it's so difficult for him to find a way through at this stage. But Holty doing everything right at the minute. Dennis trying to finish his night the best way he possibly can, and right now it is not going his way. Kelly's got past Welshie now. Yeah, Kelly's got past Welshie after the stop, so it's another place for Kelly, a consolidated place. Ardic's not come back out of the pits. He needs to come back out of the pits to finish this race to score points. But yeah, the only battle on track really after the hour is Dennis versus Holty at the moment. You have to just needed Hungary to complete the set, says Jamie. Well, we needed Silverstone, one after the other. We did that, didn't we? We did Silverstone. We'd have needed Catalonia and Paul Ricard and Hungary. Yeah. Should we do it next season? Just make the calendar similar for F1. They're gonna they're gonna have to go to. They're gonna have to go to Kyle Army and Laguna Seca. No, we're going to go to Suzuka instead. And Brands. That's not really doable, let's be honest. Yeah, not in an F1 car. Dennis is. Excuse me, Dennis has lost a bit of time here. So Holty, I've just noticed. Tactics maybe, or he's just given up at this point. Is he possibly saving his... Sorry, not giving up. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Is it possible, let the tyres cool down, let them come back to you, have one last charge? Where's Argent on track? Coming up to the middle sector, he's in the middle sector. So this, what's the lap time here? A 38. This will be then. Argent will go on to the last lap. So is he sort of cooling the tyres down to just have one more attack at Holty in this race? Possibly so. I'm just currently watching Argent. He's a bit leery, to be fair. Rear end's not too happy at the minute, and Hitman has just been creeping on him slowly, but not massive amount. But Argent, towards the end of this race, looking a little bit loose here. We might get 2 more laps yet out of this. No, this is going to be the last. Depends on what lap times he's doing. He's going to cross the line. Yeah, it definitely will be the last lap. Leaders on final lap. I was going to say, it's only a minute 10 left of the race. Leader on the final lap of the race. As Holty comes to the line then. On mine, it says a minute 26. I think it's because you've possibly left and come back in because of the replay thing. I've realised that seems to be the bug
when you go on the replays, it seems to bug out the cameras and stuff. Dennis then, 7 tenths to Holty. He's really got one more chance to do it. Is he going to do it? That's the biggest question. Holty's got to keep it together for one more lap. But Argent, fantastic drive. Hitman, another good drive as well. Shane on the podium. Holty trying to defend from Dennis. Lewis, what could have been for him, P6 at the moment. Daz is P7. Good second race. Pepe, P8. PN's in 9th place. So solid points for PN again, ahead of the Wolfenator. Smithy ahead of Stealth Sloth by a lap. And it's DJ Phil a lap down to Stealth Sloth. Kelly's on the same lap as DJ Phil. Currently nowhere near him at the moment. Then it's Welsh 15th. Audic hasn't got going, so will not score points for finishing this race. Dennis, though, is now over a second behind Holty. I think that is job done. I think Holty's managed to keep ahead of him there.
Yeah, Holty's done after this. He's done it. He's managed to hang on, and I think Shane is going to be happy that he's finished on the podium twice tonight. But Holty's still keeping him in reach and going to be losing out points wise there, but that's pretty much all Shane could have done tonight, really.
Either way, Argent rounds the final corner, and for the second time this season, he's done it race 2 Silverstone, he's done it race 2 Zandvoort, race winner. Here comes Hitman then. On his second outing, is going to get himself a podium for the Aston Martin. And I believe that might be the Aston Martin's first ever... No, it's not, because Pepe's already got one. Pepe, speaking of him, he's finished down in P8. Shane, well, what could have possibly been for him? A great result for Hitman. He's coming through. He's going to take to the line in just a moment. Here he comes now. It's going to be a P3 for him. PN has finished as well. He has got P9. Holty then has managed to fend off Dennis at the end. That is P4 for Holty. Dennis, a solid P5. Great set of results for Dennis. Lewis, the next man to cross the line. In fact, just before Lewis crosses the line, we're getting a formation across the line again from the Audio Sport boys. They love going side by side across the line here. They absolutely love it. 14th though for Smith, and it is going to be 11th for Smithy, 14th for Kelly. Not sure who we've lost towards the end there. Lewis finishes in 6th place. Who did we lose at the end there? Not too sure. Daz is going to be 7th.
Pepe, I think.
We did lose Pepe, yeah. Well, he's finished the race. Daz in 7th place. Good result for him yet again. It's more points. PN obviously in 9th place. And the Wolfenator down in 10th. Stealth Sloth in 13th. And Welshie in 16th place. Sorry, Stealth Sloth was 12th in that one. And if we just get the right screen up so we can see the race 2 results. So 1, 2, 3, just making sure everybody's here. Leon Fernie didn't finish. DJ Phil, where did he finish? He finished in 13th place. We've got Shane in. We'll speak with Shane in just a moment as the tables then look a little like this as we just update them to get them done. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night, GMT, 8 p.m. GMT +1 for the pros. Bozzy Boy, PM Motorsport, and maybe Fury's Grandad in the commentary box. That one. And Dan Davis, 8 p.m. GMT +1 Sunday night for the Formula 1. But the championship looks like this. Shane has chipped away at Holty. The gap's now 49 points. Holty to Shane. Argent's up to P3, 68 points off the championship lead, with Pepe sitting in 4th place on 198 points. P5 for the Wolfenator. Kelly down in 6th. PN catches him. That gap is now 8 between them two. Down 59th. Smithy in 9th, Bryn in 10th, Stealth Sloth 11th, 2 points behind Bryn. DJ Phil is 12th, only 8 points behind Stealth Sloth. Welshie 10 behind DJ Phil in 13th. Dean Wasocki 5 behind Welshie. Dennis Newman on 75 points. He's not far off the back of Dean already as well. Leon Fernie 16th place, cannot win the championship. Ardic 17th place, cannot win the championship. Louis 18th place, cannot win the championship. Hitman 19th place, cannot win the championship. In terms of the constructors / independent battle, AH Motorsport 139 points clear of Tickle Pink Motorsport, with East West Motorsport 3rd place, only some 30 points behind, or 32 points behind should I say, of Tickle Pink Motorsport. In fact, it's actually 22 points. No, it is 32. Apologies. Audio Sport are 10 behind East and West. MC Motorsport 210. They are some 79 behind Audio Sport. The Racing Group independent team of Pepe on 198. The Austrian Racing Club of Green Wolfenator on 181. That's a good one racing. Still the last team in this championship, losing out to two independents. Team Wysocki, P9, third in the Independents Championship. JW Racing Esport of Dennis cannot win the championship now, obviously. He is P10. P11 is Solo Racer, can't win the championship. P12 is Team Oro Titan, can't win the title. Neither can JWB Racing Esport 2. And we've got two of the top three in the commentary box. It is Shane and Kieran Argent. Before we get into that, the fans vote for driver of the day. It's going to be a shared one between Dennis and Daz, so fair enough there. But we'll start with Shane. And Shane, a bit of a up and down race for you in that one.
Yeah, definitely. I made loads of mistakes in that second race. But
Just
then
talk.
I'd do 10 laps what were quite quick and then make a few silly mistakes again.
Talk us about the end of the race. She was really gaining on Hitman, but got caught up in some traffic. Not caught. I think it was Ardic and DJ Phil.
Yeah.
What happened through there?
Can't remember, to be fair, but I know he bumped me and got in my way or something.
P3 and a P2, best you could really do tonight?
Yeah, to be fair. I'm happy with it, to be fair, with how many mistakes I made.
We go to Monza next week, a bit more of a familiar track. Do you think you can do all right there in the Lamborghini?
It was quite good round Paul Ricard, so I'm guessing it'll be good round Monza, to be fair.
Well, we hope you have a good week next week. Best of luck, Shane. Well done on tonight.
Cheers, mate.
And we go to Argent now. Kieran, you dominated a race 2 at Silverstone. It wasn't exactly domination tonight in race 2, but it was a pit stop that really worked in your favour.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the guy in second. I can't remember his name. Hitman. Basically, yeah, we went in, 3 or 4 seconds behind him and come out 10 seconds in front. So I don't know if he had damage or what that caused the difference, but I don't know. Again, I knew we were approaching a couple of back markers, so I decided to jump. And it obviously worked. It
did work. It worked very well for you. A second race win of the season puts you back into the top 3 of the championship.
Yeah, like I say, obviously ever since I had the week off, I'm just trying to get as much points as I can. Theoretically, I think I'm out of the title without traffic happening up front, but like I say, I'll take them as they come.
Talk us through the beginning part of the race. It looked like you was quicker than Holty. Holty looked like he was suffering a little bit. Team orders to be let through there, because when you got through, you had the pace.
No, not really. I was struggling. First couple of laps, I was struggling in Sector 1. The back end just felt really loose with the heavy fuel load. So we just we got the pace. We're not being dropped by the lead pack. We're not being caught by the cars behind. We just stay as we were, look after the tyres, and like I say, pay dividends because of how I managed to go longer on the tyres.
We go to Monza next week. What can we do around there?
Hopefully do all right. As I say, like I say every week, I'll take the points as they come. I know the Lamborghini will probably be quicker than me in Monza, but it's what it is.
Yeah. Well done tonight. We'll see what you do next week. Dan, final thoughts from yourself and driver of the day.
It's been an awesome night's worth of racing, other than the sad showing towards the end. But either way, it's provided some great racing tonight, Zanfor. Makes me a little bit nervous for tomorrow night. But either way, it's been good. The Netherlands have been nice to us. I've enjoyed this coffee and the substance I've been taking as well to enjoy the trip here in the Netherlands. But make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the pros to hit the track. Yeah. But for me, the driver of the day, I voted for. I think I voted for Daz in the chat, but actually thinking about it now, Louis put on such a great show towards the end of that one, so I'm going to go an equal way with them. But Dennis's pace tonight has just been unreal. He's been very, very quick. So I'm going to give it to Daz and Louis because they were equally as good.
Yeah, I'm torn between the three, but I'm going to go the way of Dennis. His results only on his second week, fantastic. Monza then next week for the Pro-Am. 4 weeks left to go for them. Monza, Zolder, Brands Hatch and Misano. It's coming down to the wire. Shane chipping away a few points tonight on Holty's Championship lead. Can he make inroads next week? Join me and Dan Davis live for that one, 8 p.m. GMT +1 for that. In terms of pro action, 8 p.m. GMT +1 tomorrow night. Bozzy Boy PM Motorsport, while me and Dan take to the track and bring you as best action as we possibly can. And Dan Davis in the comms box, 8 p.m. GMT +1 Sunday night for Formula One at Monza, as the championships coming into their back parts of the season now. Who's going to do what? Thank you for tuning in SimPlay Motorsport. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.
And we're clear.
You filmed the clip on the Facebook admin?
No, not yet. Need a wee. Just going to go and look at it. 2 seconds.
What's this Ardix name called on here?
ADI is his Discord. I can't remember.
You completely wiped out Kelly.
ADI. No. I know why it's not working.
Hardick for that needs to go.
I mean, he's bumped into the back of